at SI. And that's right, we're digging into Border for the very first map in what is promised to be a banger series. The winner goes through to the upper bracket final and will be one game away from the SI Grand Final. They'll be playing on main stage no matter what. That's right, it's BDS versus Spacestation Gaming here at the Six Invitational.
56 to 44%. The fans at home, just like most people here, are thinking, okay, this is gonna be a close one. And I mean, before this tournament started, we're all saying BDS top 4, maybe even a finalist guaranteed. And Spacestation, you know, they're loud in the first phase, they always fall short in the second, but they have really impressed and surprised at this event. Sure, they started slow, but they have really found their footing and their identity at this tournament. Speaking of identities, double shield ban on Border, Blitz and Monty they fall, Fenrir follows through. What is going on, James?
We've casted a lot of heavy shield-based teams recently. Unwanted, having Spirits, one of the best Blitz players, fantastic player on the Blackbeard as well. BDS and SSG, they can use the shields, but they don't have those iconic shield playstyles as much as teams like CAG and Unwanted do. So it's a tool in the arsenal, but not so much in this game. Of course, the Blackbeard has snuck through, and we've seen so much play on that operator so far in the tournament. We've seen a lot of Clash as well. Yeah. We saw Spacestation playing it against G2 yesterday, just the other day. And SSG, I'm no doubt starting on the attack with Forest on the Blackbeard. They'll be ready to bring whatever tools they have in their arsenal. See the Spacestation guys getting ready, and we're deep into the prep phase now. The first round, BDS starting out on the defensive side. Of course, this is SSG's map pick. A little bit of a surprise to me to see BDS choosing to start on the defensive border.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a surprise, but I think when you go into these kind of intense matches, starting on defense can be beneficial. The simple reason that you can do your basic setups, put down your reinforcements, your utility, and you kind of see what happens, you know, from the other side of the coin. SSG, they actually have a very high success rate on the attacking side, so they got Deimos to work with. I know they're going to repick off it right now for Ashen, but you got so many powerful attacking operators. One thing we've seen, and actually from quite a lot of North American teams here, is Sense starting to, you know, come into the meta. A map like Border, very open, long lines of sight. Sense can do so much work at just limiting BDS's peaking capabilities and helping each other. So I really want to keep our eyes sharp now for what J9O is going to do in this round.
Quite a few of the North American teams have really utilized that sense of perfection. We saw it from Shopify Rebellion, now eliminated. The first of very many nades goes out from SSG. You might check what year it is, but yes, that is correct. We do have 4 sets of grenades on the Space Station side. They're being used to clear utility. That's a nice Vulcan canister taken out on the balcony.
Over the engagement yet to be had. C4 in hand, this Bride got the mute jammer, of course. Again, thinking maybe a Deimos strike downstairs. Not gonna be the case. The first wall goes out, fire follows through. Are they gonna go for this or what?
The temptation here, but a big C4 from Bride. Meanwhile, the Blackbeard of Forest does bait out Solotov, and Benj is able to secure that kill. Amidst the chaos, it seems like a lot of BDS players are falling on the side. Bride looks to retake. Shaiko has supported him. It's up to just Forest and Benja now, after executing onto the CCTV position, and Shaiko's found 3 for the round. He's everywhere all at once. Forest now with a hell of a road ahead of him.
Shaiko has had games in the past, so he's a bit slow to start off with a 3 kill in the first round and could find the 4th. No, Ligifac finds the final one of Forest, the Blackbeard on the middle staircase. I like the vision there, though, from SSG. Very clear. They're going to cop the bomb site in half, attack Armory while distracting on CCTV. We have Forest in the Blackbeard, player to his left, player to his right, but the trade game was there.
Just play Valkyrie là. I think Valk.
Valkyrie?
Vert? Valk?
Is it Valk or Vert?
It was both.
Okay.
Let's play the Vert with the Valk.
Oh, okay. There you go. That makes sense.
So one thing that we actually witnessed in one of our earlier games when you and I, we worked BDS against Unwanted, that was Ligifag hit a wall against the playstyle of Unwanted when BDS they were defending, where Solotov actually said, let me drive the car right now. I know what we need to do to win. We need to counter the shields. And Ligifag took a backseat as an IGL and Solotov stepped up. Yeah. And BDS, you know, they've gone in with this English communication still very recently, and they're actually still ramping up to, I think, their full potential, getting everybody involved. But the fact that somebody is there to help Ligifag if he doesn't know what to do in Solotov is a huge glow up for this roster.
Yeah, there's no question that Leakefak is a fantastic IGL and a really important leadership figure, but there is so much more depth to the roster. If they're able to flex different players contributing more on the leadership front and on the vocal ideas, everyone has a different idea of how Rainbow Six should be played. Everyone has a different play style, and usually a team's play style gets dictated primarily by its leader. But if Leakefak acknowledges Solotov's got a better read on this opponent, I'm going to give him the reins. I'm going to let him drive the conversation. At the moment, it is seemingly Leakefak still holding control of the ship, steering the boat.
See the armor now. One big difference in operator pick, of course, the Blackbeard defense is still there for distraction, for chaos. But SSG, what they want is to break apart this defense and just open that round right on up. The thing about attacking top 4 is that we know there's going to be C4s downstairs. You're going to have those Valve cameras. If you do a slow roam clear upstairs, you might just die to C4. But if you go fast, you might sprint straight past them and stay alive for as long as possible. Thinkables came out. Ashen looked very ready, very prepared, but they didn't end up going for it. So something must have been not confirmed. They're not quite ready just yet.
Still, I would much rather SSG wait for the opportune moment than go too early. Oh, again. Big C4. Again, the same C4 works twice. Wonders for BDS. However, Ashen has made his way up into Armory, looking to almost drop deep onto site pretty quickly. Numbers advantage for SSG. Leaves just Brede and users in an awkward position, forcing users to now get aggressive. Benja has an inkling of this position, ran in the corner. Benja is already low HP, only his head exposed for a brief moment. As Users looks to keep on hunting for it, Brede comes to support, but it costs him his life. Meanwhile, SSG has flooded the site and looked for a plant. Forest takes a hell of a lot of damage, but the shield will protect him for enough time to delay and make that plant confirmed. A good kill from Forest to close the round for Space Station.
Now look at that. SSG, they attack Armory and Ventilation the exact same way, almost exactly the same rather. It's the sense on the Archive's balcony down to the C4, 2 for 2. That's not all that good. But then we see the execute on Armory. The, Ashen flying in the window, Blackbeard going to Armory door, the trade from Benjamaster covering the angles. And while that occurred, Fultz found the opening pick shortly before to even further their man advantage. I mean, it's clean. SSG, they're attacking from so many different positions at once, and BDS, they don't really know what the push is gonna be despite playing the Valkyrie. That's how effective these guys have been on the attacking side.
Even with that Valkyrie in tow, they weren't able to engage in any vertical play.
True.
We didn't see any vertical C4s. The only C4 kill was dumped out onto the AC balcony. It's now worked twice, by the way.
Forrest actually dropped straight down to the bomb site hatch as well when top 4. He's like, if there's a C4 player, I will kill them.
So being that shield, he does have that ability to really buy a lot of time. If he drops down in the side, it's going to be slower for him to get kills, but also it's going to be slower for him to get killed. So he's going to be able to delay and disrupt those C4 players, just be a little bit of a lingering threat against BDS. And also, just mentioning that Valkyrie again, it wasn't even like BDS were able to easily retake. It still took them a 2 versus 1 to kill that player in CCTV.
Yeah.
SSG are looking solid on their attacking side of border already.
Oryx being brought out now. Ooh. Oryx is great if you're up against a shield operator like a Blackbeard. But when we're looking at SSG, the way they've been playing close together, if you're going to Oryx dash into anybody, you will probably die. Because SSG, they're not going to have the most important utility operator alone. Forest, he's 1-1 in scoreline, but he has both Benja and Fultz usually in close proximity, going for a play, covering his weak spots, and ensuring that they can progress together as a team. Right now it's Benjamaster though, the main star, boxed downstairs in customs, looking for vert destruction. Jones around him, upstairs, yellow pings across the floor. But the thing is, BDS, they're not quite active inside of security. Because of that, Ashen takes it for free.
Logic bomb tempted, doesn't detonate it as of yet. These castle barricades are going to stall out SSG. BDS allowed so much more mobility as a result of that hallway being cut into two. Surely not an angle here for Ashen. He's going to go as far back as he can to hopefully find an angle onto the feet underneath that castle barricade. If he looks, he might see Shaiko's toes. We can see them, but he can't tell.
Briefcase on the ground. Unsure about it. Can't clock coming through that wall. Should be opened up though. Yep. And SSG, without losing any players or taking any point of damage, have taken armory, security. They've broken those back fountain walls. And while that's happening, Benjamin's downstairs again on the bug, looking to approach the bomb site. There is a single soft wall, so Benja could cut this in half. But SSG, they want top floor control.
The drone work's looking good. It does enable eventually the kill here. Trying to retreat. His poor users. He's been taken low. His C4 finds very little. He's now trapped in a corner and hunted down by multiple players. Ashen delivers the killing blow. Forrest looking for a little bit more, but Shaiko does best him here on the east stairs. The French still hold some control of the top floor.
Gotta praise BDS right now. They're fighting back, retaking that east staircase to Shaiko, but now again Ashen with another. Solotov goes down. Shaiko could go for a huge fight, but he's the last one alive.
Yeah, Ashen just farmed on that round. Shaiko left alone with nothing to do, hiding behind a Kiba barrier, useless, ineffectual at the top of the east stairs. When the site is ripped out from under BDS, SSG continue to mount that pressure.
And they're just not letting go. I mean, SSG, they want to be the one controlling the pace right now, and this map is perfect for it. It's border. It's just like that good old coastline back when I was in pro play. If you're the attacking team and you get so fast into the map and you start dictating these gunfights, you can get so much stuff done. I think League Effect actually already dashed through the wall into Workshop and surprised Ventimaster more than anything. So this was BDS trying to make a play and SSG punishing them more so than SSG actually being in control. But they were ready for it. Keep it going.
What do they say in that piece of content that we've played a few times about SSG? When Ashen hits the server, you generally know.
Yeah.
He's a loud boy. He gets into the server and he makes his presence known. BDS will certainly be hearing his cries. We've casted a lot of games while there's an SSG game going on the other stream. And dude, it is so distracting being in the middle of watching some intense round with Unwanted. Meanwhile, SSG are yelling at their opponents on the other stream, just in the next room. They've already fired up. They've got so much energy. Woke up on the right side of bed this morning.
I do want to see BDS fight a bit more together. I'm seeing Shaiko going for a lot of aggressive retakes and winning out in those gunfights, but I don't see a lot of people trying to help him. There's League Effect stuck in a corner, Brede stuck in a corner, not really going for those proactive engagements upstairs. If you want to shut down SSG right now, you have two ways. Utility or counter-aggression. Shaiko goes for it. It's a very, very risky play. This is the Asami. Those keep barriers that he didn't get to toss out, they're going to be lost in this round. And if no one else in BDS steps up, you're playing 4v5.
It was a great read, though, from SSG. BDS were going to get hyper-aggressive. We even saw a red ping outside. I can only presume that was one of the default cams that had yet to be taken down and not an Valkyrie camera that was thrown outside.
Unless
it could have been.
He threw a Valk cam outside.
Did he actually?
I didn't see it. I'll keep my eye out for it, though.
Maybe in future. In terms of information gathering, though, SSG have certainly been winning that battle. This drone work has been immense. They've had a great read. Like, still two of these players, Faults and Ashen, are hiding behind one of those AC units on that external balcony.
When you get an early kill like this, what it means essentially is you buy yourself like 30 seconds of time because you've gotten a free kill, you're 5v4, you don't have to fight as early in the round now to get that opening, so they're gonna spend that extra bit of time they've gained to drone, stay alive, not risk anything, and just make sure everyone can get towards the building. Explosion downstairs, surprises Ashen, but doesn't do any bit of damage. BDS, though, they are roaming very aggressively. They're still looking for gunfights, looking to shut down SSG's entries, but they're doing utility work. Drone after drone, League Effect finds Forest. That's a really good opening, down to 4v4.
Finally, a little bit of room to breathe for BDS. Ashen is making his way down the hallway, sneaking, and he's not spotted by League Effect, pushing for a refrag. Brede goes down. Ashen is farming today. As Solotov looks for a flank opportunity, he will eventually put Ashen down. But it might not be enough. SSG have inched closer towards that bomb site. They've taken so much control. They won't check their corners. Benja goes down. And Solotov now, 2 kills he has found. He is left all alone with 2 more on the docket.
It's right in the corner. Solotov, if he gets his free, it's 1v1. No, the drone goes out. Jaina, no. Looking for intel, 30 seconds on the clock. They need this clutch for BDS to even out the round score to 2-2. He gets spotted and taken down. Fultz gets the kill in SSG. Ashen found the opening, but it was a team effort behind him that found that round in the end.
It's also to like say it again with OPDs, like they're looking hard to like get the pick winner.
It's a good read from SSG. Constantly, they are aware of this aggression from BDS. Who've now taken their tactical timeout quite early. 3-1 is the scoreline in favor of Space Station. But the context of that is it's 1 round for BDS and then 3 in a row from Space Station.
Okay.
But we are a bit slow, guys, okay? We have to play more aggressive or more together, but we can't wait them, okay?
Yeah, okay, let's do the fallback strat tellers then. Party, you play Legion. I'm going to play Oryx, Bride mutes, Chico you play Valk, and Josh you play Castle to slow them down. Okay? Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 2 angles being worked here. There's 3 angles. BDS themselves have to play faster. A and B, they have to slow down SSG from progressing the map. And 3, they need to play together. It's the solo peaks, it's the solo aggression, it's the lack of trade game. Shaiko going for this swing, it's a 50-50. If he gets the kill, he's the hero. If he dies, he's the villain. If he felt that there was the right play to make, you gotta go for it. Same thing for Ashen. This is a silly play on paper, but it opened up everything for his team to win the round.
Even Solitaire taking a lot of risks, hiding in a lot of rat corners, but it brought that round back for BDS for a brief moment. SSG are really feeling on a roll at the moment.
I mean, this just feels like classic game day prep. We gotta do ABC. You do ABC, it works flawlessly. You're gonna feel like nothing can stop you. Those first 2 rounds with the sense wall, the armor flying in, the blind clearing security, when you have that kind of start to a bottom match, you're gonna be very confident about your attacks.
Oh yeah, SSG have set the pace in this game, and that's exactly what BDS are trying to contest. In that tactical timeout, they said, guys, we have to slow SSG down. We have to speed up ourselves and play together. And like you said, you can't necessarily fault Shaiko for that aggressive run if you felt like it was the right play.
Yeah.
BDS need to trust their instincts on the playmaking, but they need to be together.
Exactly.
And they need to have a read on SSG in order to make those plays successful.
I'm still a bit curious about the Oryx though. Big effect, picks this with intent. Second time around, didn't really find much in the first. Again, the drone work from SSG.
Benja knows, though. That's the danger. And it's not just that Benja knows, it's that League of Fact doesn't know that Benja knows.
Oh, that's the dangerous part, yeah. I like the Nook here, trying to play around the Valkyrie, the default cameras. But the issue is getting inside the building on border can be a bit tricky. You gotta open up a barricade, a breach, open one of those walls, and that's gonna generate a lot of sound. But how proactive BDS are running around the map currently, I don't know if Benja's gonna get this Nuke into full effect this round.
Deimos is certainly a good way for SSG to suppress that aggression from BDS.
Ooh.
Forrest knows. But it looks like the Legion's actually retreated back onto that mute jammer, and therefore the Deimos death mark will be ineffectual.
You see the game style here for BDS. A lot of pressure in CC. What are we gonna do? Play aggressive armory. Play aggressive main door. Shut down those drones. Drone after drone after drone. 6 drones killed now, and SSG, they're barely in the building. BDS is strat. That timeout, it's working.
But you don't need drones if the opponent's phones are ringing. 3 players, though, from BDS quickly hang up their phones. We need to see this execute. Another Deimos death mark goes out onto Solotov. He's supported. 2 players. He's sandwiched between several positions
the gap.
of other BDS players. And Benja may have just found a gap. He's inching closer towards the side. Spots one. Pushing for a refrag, surely. BDS have the position, and Leakafak will find it. Doubling back in through server. Now SSG. Their little X-Factor operator is gone, and they have to try and find a way into this, but BDS have read them to pieces.
Leakafag finding so many kills in that round, injured now on the ground. It's Forrest and Fultz, gotta do some heavy lifting. Sienna known at 1 point of HP. Oh, the timing!
He's known. Doubling back, Fultz has awareness of that position, and immediately it's a 3 versus 3, dropping down into the side. Fultz goes for one. Plan opportunity opened up for SSG, but not if BDS can hold on. Not if Shaiko keeps finding heads like that. Solotov to close, and BDS are back into it.
They fight back. The strat worked. Stuflex, the coach behind the players of BDS, had the correct read. Leakafag called the exact perfect plan, and all the players committed to it. I want to praise Leakafag here. He's playing Oryx, and it's a bit of like, what does that operator do? He was everywhere. down the hatch, up the hatch, retaking, killing I think 5 drones single-handedly, and most importantly, when Benja forced the gap in Workshop, getting this kill in Castle, Leakyfac was the person to answer. He was in the spot, got caught the same second, swings out, shuts down Benja, and that buys a lot of space for BDS to thrive on the side. It opens up Shaiko to make this play and get 2 kills back-to-back. If Benja was in that corner still, he likely cuts off that rotation from Shaiko.
And it was such a good read, as you said, from BDS to slow down SSG. The opening pick came out with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. So far on Border, this game, most of the kills, the opening kills, have happened in the first minute. And it's because BDS have been more aggressive at the start, and SSG haven't had as many obstacles to deal with. Not as many castle barricades or goo mines or other operators that BDS are bringing to slow SSG down.
So will SSG change things up? Now that BDS have got the correct read, do they feel there is a need to change their pacing or their attack strategy? Or do they just say, we can do the same thing, but just a little bit better, hit a few more shots, play a little bit tighter together? They got the Force, they got the Twitch, they can deal with utility, whether it be the Goyo canisters, the Valkyrie cameras, take down the Kiba barriers as well. Shaiko loves this hallway. And as long as those Keepers will be alive, he can keep aggressing on, taking those gunfights.
But guess what? The Roteros detonating on the floor not only destroy those Keeper barriers, but also open up lines of sight that can be used by Benja. Down below on that bark. Leakyfac is looking to contest as well. He knows that Benja might be downstairs, and he takes his head off. Opening kill again in the first minute of the round, but this time it's for BDS.
It's a huge kill as well. Now SSG with the buck going down, they've lost pretty much all their verticality. Sure, Ashen on the Deimos could rotate downstairs, but then again, the mute jammers, they're gonna be a problem. Time on the clock is gonna go even further down. Good bit of scouting there for Genano, finds the camera. Drone gets shot down though by Brede as he heard that Twitch stab coming out. And we see most of the attacks now outside the building, on repels, rotating. I think SSG are trying to figure out a plan B right now, because plan A, it's kind of over. And with half the round burnt, they've lost a player. This is the most dominant round for BDS thus far.
Yeah, and there's so much still in the tank left for BDS. As we saw when that Twitch drone went into Archives, there are 2 Vulcan canisters from the Goyo on top of the bookcase. That's very hard to clear. Even the Twitch drone would have had to make a few jumps to try and take those down. If it comes down to a late round push from SSB into Archives, they will likely die. But instead, they're looking to pressure officers. But Ashen has found his first. Forrest now tempted to make something happen. Oh, a nade though. Surely this won't be confirmed. Oh no! Ashen finds them both, trading himself back. It doesn't seemingly matter for SSG that he falls because they collapse on the site and finish off the rest of BDS. SSG win the half, 4-2 split.
Hey, if I'm Ashen with that grenade, I'm gonna take that trade, man. You toss out a nade, you confirm the kill, you get the second, you might die. It's all good, man. We don't worry about it. And then the push in that 90 hallway, the Blackbeard, the 2 guns supporting him. I mean, it's beautiful teamwork once more from SSG.
Yeah, even though it started so strong for BDS, Leakyfac finding a pick. This was what we didn't see.
Okay.
Took him a hell of a long time. You can see that BDS, though, pushed for a refrag. Players dropping downstairs. Grenade ended up winning the round for them. Ashen even types lol in the all chat.
Surprised he didn't type anything else. Just a lol.
Dude, that's tame for Ashen.
Oh, 2 kills with 1 nade. 10 and 4, by the way.
Yeah.
Huge performance.
Had an unreal half so far. Moving on to the attack, let's see, rather defense. Let's see if he can keep up that momentum. He's on the Tuberau now. We didn't see any Tuberau from the BDS side, from Leakyfac or
it's
anyone
just
else.
Leakyfac now, huh?
I mean, it's Team Leakyfac in my brain.
He does call the operators. He's like, Shaiko played the Valkyrie, I'm gonna play Oryx. He's
That
so
was
accurate with it.
Really nice tack timeout, though, when we actually got to hear every single operator being called. The more detailed and specific in particular a call in a tack timeout, I find it so interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, there's less chance of miscommunication. If you go, guys, just do the vertical ventilation strat, and then one person's like, oh, I'm gonna play castle, but in Leakyfac's mind, you don't need the castle.
Yeah.
Just be clear about it, right?
Yeah.
Communication's not easy. Don't make it any harder than it has to be. But for, of course, expectations right now, Border is historically an attacker-favorite map. SG getting a 4-2 is not like out of the norm, but you are doing it against BDS. That's the impressive part.
And the other thing is that BDS expected their defense to be stronger, otherwise they wouldn't have picked a defense start.
It's also completely fair. Can they hold on though? As you said, very different operator lineup from SSG, the Tubrao, the Ela. A lot of, I would say, weaker weapons. Double SMG-11, long range of fights, the Scorpion and Ela. Most people don't like it. A little sap there, very cheeky. Oh, the nades!
Oh, wow. Not every day that we see a nade get a kill, and now in 2 rounds, we've had 3 nade kills. Ironically, Ashen, the one falling this time around. A little bit of payback. And with that, I believe CCTV should be mostly clear. It looks like Benja has now retreated into the position. Another nade goes out. It does take a bit of damage eventually, but Likafak is the one trying to be the tip of the spear. Solotov confirms that kill. The DMRs comes alive for BDS. As just the 2 SMG-11 bros left. Likafak quickly dismisses J90's flank. And it's all up to Fultz. He's about to be spotted by that Deimos Deathmark. Nice shot onto Shaiko, but Uzis has trapped him all the way from downtown. Solid start to the attacking side from BDS.
They change stuff.
That's counter-spotting.
Yeah, sounds like BDS didn't see the setup they were expecting, but the way they picked that apart was beautiful. A lot of teams will struggle on clearing out the first player in the corner. They killed 3 separate defenders in that 90 corner that were retaken first. Actually, we saw Ashen fall, then Benja, and then the third player here, J90. It was clean, it was simple, it was just some grenades, some Blackbeard usage, some Lion. It's beautiful.
Oof. Not a good reaction from Fultz there. Fultz actually one of only 2 players in the server who has won a Six Invitational before him and Benja Master. Him, of course, with Spacestation in 2020, Benja with G2 in 2023. Both times in Montreal at Place Belle, actually.
Yeah, actually, fun fact.
Not far from here, funnily enough. About a 5.5-hour drive, I'm told.
As a Danish person, that is incredibly far.
Not far.
I can go to 4 separate countries with a 5-hour car ride from Denmark.
Or even on the right coast here in Boston, on the east coast, northeast part of the country, not that far from Montreal. Europeans are crying at the thought of a 5.5-hour drive.
It's so true. Now again, we're always speaking about IGLs and what they do in the server from like calling the strats for your teammates. But League of Fact playing out that round as quickly as it happened to go, guys, they've changed stuff. Like again, that was not what they prepped or prepared for, and they very immediately in celebration into adaptation. Because now they really realize that their prep work has to be a little bit different this time around. Shaiko making a rotate with the Deimos pistol towards Jail. He can enter the building when he needs to. Meanwhile, the drone from Solotov, some soft destruction, into gathering, cancel barricades, goodbye. Trying to use these forest drones early, so that when you need to get aggressive for Solotov, he can just become like an entry gun, because he spent those forest drones already.
Yeah. Oh. League of Fact's the first one to fall, and he will die with a lot of utility in pocket. Desperately looking for a refrag here. Shaiko up the main stairs. He's walking into a crossfire, and his position's been read here by Fultz. Waiting inside Fountain. It's an easy shot for the American. Just 2 players left, floundering for BDS. Bride and Solotov. Solotov can barely even find this fight against Ashen. Won't gift him too much of a freebie. Hunted down into the corner, but it doesn't seemingly matter. BDS the ones that have to make their move.
Discipline. 4v2, SSG. I mean, this speaks to their lifestyle choices, how they operate as a team. You should have no way to lose this round unless Bride and Solotov have the best rounds of their careers, because you got a 4v2, you got strong positions, you have 3 players upstairs actually, and then 1 guy hiding on the bomb side, just slowing down time. Jammer, of course, taking out that summer charge. They can't breach. Ashen is playing the pillar position. If he dies first, that will open things up. I don't want to see Ashen swing here and go for a greedy kill. Just stick that corner, or when it's clear, fall back to side and surrender the map control. Because now there's 50 seconds left, BDS have no idea where any of these defenders are playing from.
Yeah, all this information becoming old news. The BDS is gleaning. Still haven't spotted many of those players on site. BDS have abandoned the top floor and are now looking to try and cheese a plant position, but it's going to have to be impeccable cover from Solotov, who's already low HP. Nice shot from Bride. Ashen down. 10 kills on the board, the top fragger in the server, no longer a worry for BDS. But guess what? Solotov still has to loiter upstairs because Faults is on for a flank. And Solotov is not in position to be aware of it. Bride still trying to force that plant down. Faults' position not yet known. Forrest poised to try and make something work.
Oh, he missed him.
I don't think Solotov saw him. He realizes perhaps his teammate called out, but Forrest has found the kill, and Faults is ready for the second. SSG have taken control.
Very good read. Dropping to the bomb side, realizing BDS, they're not going for Uncle anymore. They want the site itself. And because of the lack of soft destruction on the bomb site walls, SSG didn't have the line of sight to actually see the plant position at first. They were shotgunning it at the end of the round. That's actually how Ashen died on the castle. But this right here, beautiful. Benjamaster has Armory Archives, your player inside a fountain holding down the middle staircase, and Ashen deep inside an office locking down east stairs. They were having like 3 people working together, covering almost the entirety of top floor, leaving no way in for BDS. And the second Leak Effect died, you saw it was Leak Effect saying, guys, just play for bodies, play for kills. Shaiko sprinting up the middle staircase looking for something, nothing to be found.
5-3 split now for SSG. The BDS might have found a little bit of success on the back of their tactical timeout and at the start of this half, but they've slowed down. SSG looking too strong on border. Now, of course, as the analyst mentioned, Bank is our next map, BDS's map pick, and they are unbelievable on this map. They're actually on a 14-map win streak.
14?
14.
Okay.
Whereas Spacestation have lost it the last 3 times they have played it. But BDS should feel a lot more comfortable on Bank, but you shouldn't be relying on winning your map pick to go into a BO3. Nighthaven is where we would settle it if we're pushed the distance, but if SSG can build up that momentum on the first map, we know they are fighters. They have not lost a match at Six Invitational without at least winning a map.
And I mean, they are what I would call momentum-based teams. Once they are fired up, they are feeling great. The attacks were phenomenal. The defense, of course, is about adapting to your opponent. You're going to set up your stuff, see what BDS will try and do to pick it apart, and you got to counter. There's been a lot of utility from Spacestation on border, not typically a utility-based map. I mean, the Kai 2-barrel castle right now with the mute jammers, it's again choosing to work the map and positions over playing strong guns. Whereas BDS, they're playing high fire rate SMGs, taking gunfights, running around the building. Very different stylistic choices, and I like it because it does mean for BDS, because they're not playing the same way, they gotta pick it apart differently, and they might not have the perfect answer.
Yeah, when it comes to hard clearing positions, hard breaching walls, it's gonna be a huge challenge for BDS. They're gonna have to brute force. How are they gonna do that when they're still lying in wait, droning, checking positions? When SSG are doubling down on all of these points of ingress?
Oh, the calm before the storm. The only thing SSG don't have right now that I would like to see was a Valkyrie, but where do you fit that in? That's the issue. Look at this. Archives entry, Shaiko.
The gap. He's found it. Our Space Station aware. The nade reveals his position elsewhere. Solotov's gone down. An instrumental player and operator. Would have been, at least, in this round, had he not gone down early. Now Shaiko still desperately looking for something, peering down into the bomb site below. These SSG players are not going to reveal their position. Ashen almost finds his kill, whiffs his shots. Shaiko finds the gap, but Ashen still has not been dealt with. Eventually, Shaiko finds them both on the top floor. BDS still have a way into this, but SSG are fighting tooth and nail. Faults takes a bit of damage, retreats, forces Shaiko now to drop. The bomb site is his, but Bride has to come to assist and force this plant down.
Bride is far away, so there is no crossfire. Shaiko's all alone. SSG, they surrender the bomb site mostly. One player creeping inside a B bomb site. If he jumps in, he should be dead. But they don't know. Lack of information from both teams.
Forrest has the prime position. He's standing on a mute jammer. He's not going to be vulnerable to the death marks, and he's wary of Shaiko's position, and he finds him as well. Bride can trade and jump straight inside. Diffuser in pocket, ready to plant. Faults and J90 have to play this to perfection. Together, but separate. Do they make their way forward? Faults finds his head, and SSG, they've got 3 map points ahead of them.
More TCSC training, more TCSC training.
The biggest takeaway for me in that round is how they played top floor for SSG. They had a player on the half-wall and armory, far back, stuck in the corner, Ashen, and a teammate by the small box door. And they knew exactly where to stand and where they couldn't to avoid overstepping and dying. They took a timeout from SSG to lock this out.
Use the mute jammers to go down some of these and place those around for you guys. Also make sure you get something off and out on that mirror. Just
Put a jammer on that door so it gets jammed.
Hey, after that, once you call whatever you want, get on the inside. This should close out.
Oh, they're cooking.
Dude, that was so specific.
Yeah, this is one
Vera
of those.
here, Fountain facing this way.
Yeah.
Kai to protect the walls.
Yeah.
Mute jammer here, mute jammer here, mute jammer here.
Yeah. Make CC a kill box and give that to them for free, just to kill them afterwards. This is ballsy, I will say. You're up 6-3. You're doing great. No questions asked. You're giving BDS a chance to talk amongst themselves and their support staff to make the right adaptations yourself. And you're doing this because you believe that with this specific approach to this upcoming round, you can just end it 7-3 and call it there. If this doesn't work out and BDS, they start, you know, building that comeback, you have no parachute. Yeah. You spend it for this round with a 3-round lead. See if you can pay off.
But it's just so typical of this roster to make the ballsy play. It's what they do best. It's what they love. The way that they live. Now, have they made CCTV a kill box? They haven't opened up any walls as of yet.
I think it's going to be maybe on the back Fountain, perhaps. Yeah, there it is. So they're going to open up the soft walls, play from Fountain. The Kai Trooper on mid jammers here are a mixture of wall deny for the mirror windows, the breaches, and in case of probably like a depth tracker from if there was going to be a Deimos on the board. And you see the response from BDS. They're picking up Maverick as the sole Heartbreacher. That's not going to work against the mirror windows at all. So they're expecting that they need to breach the first layer, but the issue isn't getting the bomb set wall. The issue is the mirror window right behind it. So Ligifag and Bach has to be instrumental and find these things vertically instead to get rid of those mirror windows.
Yeah, and if it comes down to an office side push, SSG have really stacked up util in that position. Perhaps the map could be the answer to that side push. But I think Ligifag, as you said, is going to be hugely impactful here. Twitch drone comes in. This is going to spot the hunk of utility. Ooh. Surely it's not going to be able to find this mirror window.
Hold on. Oh, no!
Shot on the drone. That is so massive from Benja to shoot that Twitch drone. Had it found its way in, that would have been the entire hole for SSG dismantled. But look at this. CCTV may be a kill box, but Solotov has already made his way past it into the hallway.
I love the Jaeger here. The ADS says, in case of those grenades, they've been so lethal from the side of BDS. Only 2 in pocket of users. Great shot though. Solotov takes down Forest. The domino pieces are slowly starting to fall, but SSG are still holding on. They still got their prime positions. They don't have to get desperate just yet.
This Mav is putting some pressure, and that pressure is slowly building across the map for BDS as they encroach upon the positions of SSG. Benja so close to swinging Solotov here, but he knows discipline will be rewarded.
If either Benja or Ashen falls in office, the other player is as good as dead. They need each other to live in these positions. So if one person swings, it'll be the fault of the other. Careful, Ashen. Benja's been so patient, so disciplined. Don't go greedy on him now.
Sneaking up as Shaiko is just waiting for one of these heads to pop up. The mirror window's open. A kill onto J90. Aggression from Fault doesn't pan out. Shaiko's got his double. And Armory is as good as his. A 3K for the Frenchman. Benja Master, the last one standing. He goes down. It's flawless for BDS. A gamble was taken by SSG, but BDS have got a royal flush.
A good idea, a risky tactical timer, but you're up against Ligifag, and he picked it apart perfectly with his team of BDS. It was step by step, it was kill after kill, it was position cleared after position cleared. It's beautiful. I mean, this first pick from Solotov, that's just nasty. But that's not even the most important kill. It's how to do the Bach vert downstairs, cover the run back, juke the C4, kill the second player, cut the rotation in half, and the last 2 remaining defenders, that was Ashen and Benja, who were holding off his Fountain earlier.
Yeah, Shaiko killed it there.
So League Effect actually saying good call. It seems like somebody else might have made the round-winning call for him.
Well, it was League Effect on the buck, right?
Yeah, so this is the thing. If you're the IGL and you're playing Buck downstairs, you don't see the bombs and what's happening on the upstairs area, but you know what you can do to help them. So the communication between Shaiko, Solotov, and League Effect, the people outside Armory, had to have been excellent to say, hey, League Effect, when you buck this, in 3 seconds, I'm gonna cut off the rotation. 3, 2, 1, boom, get the kill.
Yeah. And that was the first of the dominoes that fell for SSG.
Yeah.
And then Shaiko just doing Shaiko things, knowing the situation, right? He knows he's then going to get swung by the player on the mirror window. Oh. And once he's found 2, he knows it's going to come down to a rotation from the other side of the map. A temptation from J90 to go for a spawn pick. But as you pointed out last round, Nick, SSG took their tactical timeout at 6-3 match point. Yeah. They no longer have their parachute if BDS start building momentum.
We see SSG with a big change of right. They played super passive last round, thinking that BDS couldn't just like problem solve the round. Now they're spawn peeking, they're roaming again, they're much more proactive around the entire building, watching the cameras. So they recognized, okay, that didn't work. Back to our previous, strategy. BDS now got a adapt on the fly, back-to-back, Brede on the sense. We don't see that all that often from BDS, but it could, of course, be a huge operator. The sense rework, in case you guys aren't familiar, those projector walls no longer act as a smoke grenade. The warden, the glass, bulletproof cameras can't see through it. It just now covers all the vision. So Forrest on the warden right now can't do anything about it. But the triple C4s on the side of SSG absolutely can. BDS, they're approaching side. Shaiko might just walk on in.
Oh, he's been found. BDS.
That's risky.
Losing an early player. Benja so cautious of these vertical lines that he himself has opened. Oh, that was a free kill for League Effect. It goes begging. Big missed opportunity to tie up the numbers for BDS.
It's that trigger discipline. League Effect didn't think he could confirm the kill, and if he shoots now and doesn't get it, his position will be exposed. He's gonna toss a smoke grenade, get the position around, but again, he needs the perfect shot. He needs the skill to be confirmed. He can't risk only doing damage.
Fault is seemingly suspicious as well, and so tempted. He goes for the drop. The timing is perfect. What? League Effect has been holding that for God knows how long, and yet he loses it. Forrest, Benja, and Faults now. In the 3v3, it's still map points as they hold on. Shots to the floor from Forrest. Users has to pull this pin out of his foot. The SSG still have that roamer upstairs as well. That X Factor remains untapped.
They got the Blackbeard, they got the sense. I want to see Brede getting more active right now. Diffuser instead of customs on his body. But those projector walls, I mean, they can find so much value right now. You can cut the bombs in half. Benja finds one more.
Benja.
So now we got a 2v3. With no Brede, he can be so clutch. Uses on the Blackbeard. It's not out. It's not over just yet.
No! But he was looking the wrong way. It's all up to Users now, and he's found the first of 3, looking for a second. Benja taken down. Where is Faults? Where is the captain? Users looks to steer the ship himself. With that plant going down, C4 available for Fault. He tears it, he detonates it, but Users hasn't been found. It's a game of cat and mouse as Users ducks around the corner, hunting down Faults. But Users doesn't have the time to waste. Faults is in the corner, he spots him, he sprays him. All engines are firing for SSG. Border is theirs as they move to rob BDS on bank.
Ice cold play from Force is running around the bomb site saying, I know where you are, and I got time on my side. Shaiko started that final round, sprinting in towards the bombs and thinking, I can win this for my team. But no, you could not. Benjamin's upstairs through the vert, shut that down, and locked BDS out from getting to the site. Close first map. But I will say this for BDS, maybe not close enough.
SSG have been taking some big scalps so far at SI. Could BDS be the next? We'll find out on the other side of this break.
Available now.
Strong start from SSG in this potential banger matchup. They take their own map pick of a border, and we complimented SSG on their cohesion, their teamwork going into this map, but once again, it shows in their team play.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it, and everything they do outside of the server is for a reason. And everything they do inside of the server is for a reason. You will not see SSG making basically any mistakes inside the server. They know what they want to do. They do it as a team every single time. Obviously, every round it's not going to work out. There will be rounds that they lose, but every single round they give what is their best opinion. They don't make very many mistakes, if any at all, and it becomes so hard to play against them when they're doing that. I said it off camera actually, I feel like SSG, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to any playstyle or anything like that, they are a faster Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro, when you play against them, they don't give you any mistakes, but their big enemy is time. SSG are very similar, but they don't have that time element. They're fast, they're confident, and they're hitting some Unreal shots. And Unreal players, look at Fultz with that clutch there.
Yeah, I mean, we said the biggest thing for SSG, it was almost like no one was dying. They weren't giving up any free picks to BDS, and that's exactly what we saw in SSG's game against FaZe and G2. They were so good at hiding. They don't give away free picks. They're able to play the time as best as possible so that they can make sure that they're winning the rounds decisively.
Look at that on the scoreboard there. Fultz, by the way, 14-5, so died only 5 rounds out of 11, and 4-0 on the entry.
Yes.
Like, they're getting the entries and also not dying. They're valuing their life so much.
Absolutely. I mean, Fultz has definitely been coming alive for this event. I mean, he's looking like he's playing like the Fultz that won the Hammer, you know, back in 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, SSG's just been playing so good in the way that they coordinate and the way that they're executing. Because if you watch the way that they play, they're all split up around the map, but they're able to just consume the site or consume the position that they're trying to take. And they're constantly getting those first picks. And BDS doesn't really have a response for them. They were kind of getting shut out.
No, but they better find a response, and hopefully quick as well. They have about 5 minutes before we go to their map pick. That's going to be Bank after this break.
There are many great players who are not champions, who have never lifted the hammer, who might never lift the hammer. And it's not because they aren't good enough, they just might not put in what it requires to really get there. Because they are the goods and not the greats.
There is not 1 hour of the day where your mind can be off siege. You have to sacrifice everything to win.
If you were to win any event and call it quits, it would probably be the Six Invitational.
Chegar no topo uma vez, então assim foi um momento de muita emoção.
The Invitational is, the kind of the final checkpoint, the final test, and it meant the world to me.
History will be made here because for the first time on home soil, a Brazilian team will win a world championship.
The only thing that matters is the 4 guys next to you, your coach, and the screen in front of you.
No one ever really just goes and wins. You have to go through the pain, the hardships.
FaZe are exploding!
You have to go all in, that's it.
Quem perdeu foi nós tudo ali. E a gente que vai virar isso aqui agora.
Você tem que confiar muito no seu time.
Não vamos desistir, não vamos desistir.
Davi Sakiemi and brought it all the way back!
Fácil demais, porra!
When you truly want to become the best, you truly have to believe that you are, because you have to play it 100%.
BDS will need to come up with an answer if they want to keep themselves in that upper bracket. They're discussing it now in this little break between these two maps. But the good thing is we're going to their map pick. Bank is up next. And you talked about this, Foxday, when we showed all the maps. SSG, once again, similar to Border, play pretty spread out on this map.
Yeah, they have a very unique playstyle on Bank just because most of the time, even though Bank is such a big map, SSG is really good at being able to limit even needing resources inside the map. On a basement, they're able to take garage, take dirt tunnel. On a CEO, they're able to play off the windows. And there's a lot of creativity from the side of SSG when it comes to Bank. And I'm excited to see how they match up against a better team because Bank is a good BDS map.
It's a good BDS map. I mean, we're looking for some kind of hope to, especially for the EU fans, to keep BDS in this upper bracket. I mean, if you do win today, that is so much easier to make your way to the grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the hope for the BDS fans is Bank is a great map. In fact, I've got a great stat on. BDS have never lost Bank with this roster. Their win streak goes back even further before this roster, but they've never lost it with this roster. They absolutely love it. Teams took them there time and time and time again, and they kept beating them.
I'm glad you're bringing the astronauts back down to earth just a little bit to make sure that we keep the tension in this matchup, because it was rather dominant, I guess we can say that. Despite the scoreline being 7-4, it was still a very strong showing from SSG. We've seen BDS be in this spot before. They have this target on the back. We talk about it, but we need them to step up.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest difference on Bank compared to Border is it is a very slow-paced map, but the difficulty is still going to be the same for BDS. They're going to have to be able to find those kills when they're on their attack side. They have to make sure that they have a comfortable enough lead while they're starting on defense to be able to swap sides, because SSG are so good right now at not overextending and overexposing and throwing rounds that they shouldn't need to be throwing.
This is the type of game that's shaping up so far where BDS are being outfought in terms of the strategy, in terms of the team play. But BDS do have that secret weapon that everybody on their roster can pop off and just carry them through the game. This is certainly the map that is going to be needed.
I mean, one thing SSG does have, though, is they've slayed 2 giants already. They got the third one in front of them, and they have the momentum of the first map. And if there's anything that Gym Bros love, it's that energy, it's that power, and so far they have the vibes on the team currently to be able to carry them through.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it again, though. But with all this information, I am so excited to watch this map too. And the good thing is that the game is ready, so let's throw it back to our casters.
Thank you very much, Anne and the analysts. Wow, that sounds like a good name for a TV show. Can you imagine that? I reckon that'd make a pretty good cartoon.
Sure.
Yeah. But first, we've got quite a show to watch today. That's BDS and Spacestation. SSG, as the guys on the analyst team said, they've already had huge upsets over W7M major champions, FaZe SI finalists, and G2. Can they take down BDS as well? Well, they've got their work cut out for them. This is BDS's best map. They have not lost it for nearly 2 years. They're on a 14-map win streak. BDS are ready to bounce back on Bank.
Funny enough, the fan vote actually going in favor of BDS a little bit more than previously on Border. I mean, I like that the European fans are showing up here in full force, but guys, were you not paying attention? There was a 7-4 convincing victory from SSG, primarily being the driver's seat. You gotta pay some more respect.
Yeah. SSG have looked in solid form. We were having a little bit of a chat between maps with Emmy and Hap and some of the other casters around who were on break between their maps as well. And they asked, was that a one-sided game? Like, how was it? Was it close? And I went to say yes. And then you and the analyst chimed in and said, actually, no, SSG was in control for all of Border.
I would say so. I mean, sure, round count-wise, it's close, and there were like 2v2s and 1s that could have gone other ways, but generally speaking, I think SSG, they did put in more than BDS could take away from them. But Bank, though, it's a different beast. The analyst said it very well. The one saving grace for Spacestation when they go on defense in 6 rounds from now is that they were very good on Border at simply knowing exactly where the line of descent was, where they are safe to be standing, and where they will die to a grenade or a line of sight. The way Bank plays out, a lot of long angles, basement, all the way garage in towards the bomb site, server in towards the bomb site, top floor, CE repel, lobby repel. So you need to understand where you will be safe and where you might be, in danger. But BDS, they will start on defense first. We gotta go through the attacking side of SSG before we get to the defensive side. And we saw lots of on Border. The Blackbeard, the Sense, the Amaro, the fast take, saying we have a clear vision, a clear plan, and we have no fear to execute it.
That's right. SSG have already played Bank and lost it against G2, Oxygen, and Virtus Pro at the Six Invitational so far. They will have to right their wrongs to make this a swift 2-0 and put themselves into the upper bracket final here at SI. Starting on the attacking side, as you've said, they themselves banned the Deimos and the Valkyrie. BDS got rid of the Montaigne and the Azami. Now that Deimos is the main one I'm thinking of, which we did see a little bit of on the first map. It's Shaiko's favorite, or one of Shaiko's favorite operators on the attacking side. In the second half, we may see that come into play.
I think we call it favorite, not one of. I think it's a fair assumption here. I just injured though. The gun is there. The gunfight doesn't go the right way though. What is that, Ashton? You gotta hit those shots, man.
Say Bloody Mary, and he will appear. Shaiko question marks. Ashen in the chat. Immediately off to a flying start for BDS. SSG may have taken the top floor control, but their quick entry from Ashen leaves SSG bloodied. It's going to be a hot drop here for Blackbeard, spotting, and the second one. Benji does take down Forest, unfortunately, for SSG, retaining the numbers advantage for BDS.
Now imagine Ashen gets that free build to Shaiko. You drop the hatch, you get a second kill of the area in control for free. This round would have looked so good for Spacestation, but now with a team kill and a whiff from Ashen, it is gonna be a fair bit more difficult. I will say this though, the Grim Bees and those projector walls from the Sense can still find a ton of value in this round. There is still a way into this. SSG will, of course, fight for it. They're not going to give up. But BDS are playing so far back on the bottom side. All they want to do right now is not risk dying. So as I said, the line in the sand, the area that BDS control, that's where you're going to play from. Watch those angles on the hatch drops and just sit down and wait for SSG to make the first move.
What SSG have going for them is a decent amount of utility still available. Hard breach is going to be pretty easy. 2 sets of tin can openers. Already used half of those sets. Faults has the Maverick. If it is to be used, he can open up lines of sight onto the objective. He can open up an entry. The Sense.
Oh, yeah.
Very early. We need to see a way to clear these Vulcan canisters on the bomb site. BDS can just sit safely.
There is one C4.
Oh, no! Taking down J90 before he detonates those projectors does mean that BDS are going to be pretty much guaranteed this round.
You can't win that gunfight.
Same angle. How is Benja making that same mistake? Rough round for him from the team kill into that blunder. Now it's all up to Faults, and there's a player flanking him upstairs. That's a nice one for League of Fact. It's impossible. Simply impossible for Faults to make this one.
That's going to be the first round, and it does it here shortly. But we saw the vision from SSG. A lot of intent in the round, a lot of fast entries and map control. And if they can keep up that pace and not get shook too much from these very massive arrows in the first round, it's gonna be okay for the future. But the nearsightedness, come on, that's not fair, League of Fact. Take the 50-50, man.
League of Fact just waiting, biding his time. BDS are locked in here. Nothing that Faults can do about it, except maybe find a consolation frag. He's being toyed with. Great start there for BDS. SSG had nothing in that round from start to finish.
Drop instantly trading hatch. They will try crazy stuff. That was really good, Checo. Well played.
I really like that they're not necessarily going to talk about the crazy stuff that happened during the round, because you've got to focus up on the round. But this is exactly what League of Fact was explaining to the roster. A nade was thrown out at the same time as the double drop happened. And he said, guys, they're going to try crazy stuff.
It's important to understand what kind of SSG is going to be meeting in the server. If it's going to be the super fundamentally structured, slower paced, like we saw one round off on border after a tactical timeout, or the rest of border, where they're just fighting you, going fast, and trying to control the pace. Fox sat on the desk, or on the endless floor, as we call it here, that SSG were very good at taking the hard-to-get spaces, whether it's a seat your rappel, working those angles, taking garage and server on basement, etc. And this is the thing, a lot of teams are not very good at taking those areas in control, and they struggle to get a foothold inside the map or enough bomb site pressure to force defenders to move around. I don't expect that to be the problem for SSG. They're gonna have to just win gunfights against Shaiko, however, and that's gonna be equally hard because he was on fire in the first map, was instrumental in most of the rounds that BDS was succeeding in, and when they could shut him down, when Benji in that final round won his individual gunfight, BDS, they have much less fragging power when he's in the grave.
The top floor second up for BDS. There's a lot of explosive utility here on the SSG side. Unfortunately, that Rotero does get jammed out by Mute. The Ash and the Kali, however, will not get jammed out by Mute, and will be able to take down these castle barricades.
Luckily, the Kali here, probably one of the longest angles in the game, so why not bring the biggest zoom scope available? clear the castle barricades, can shatter a mirror window if you were to bring one, can destroy the blue with cameras, the kite claws. Like, there is so much value to be had here if you're Kali. But that primary sniper, most players don't like it. They don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's had a few buffs over time. It's a little bit less unwieldy than it has been in the past. But similar to shield operators, you just have to practice with it. You have to get comfortable with it. I hope for J9's sake that he is.
Yeah, Ligifag is safe in that position because of the castle barricade on the side, and nobody's cleared that out. Just a small note here, if defenders are castle off a door or window, you should try and destroy the castle barricade because they have an intent with that. If the castle barricade isn't there, Ligifag cannot play in this position and wouldn't be able to get that C4 maybe tossed out.
Yeah, strange to me that J9 hasn't cleared that castle barricade on the airlock doorway. Nice C4, but SSG are aware of it. Another castle barricade provides a safe haven for Ligifag on the site.
It has Selma charges as breaching rounds, Kali lances. I mean, they have so much self-destruction. They've spent most of it. And they haven't gotten 2 of the 4 castle barricades. Entering the building is risk for Benja.
Oh, nice read, though. He does get that kill on the Shaiko, but not confirmed. And with the support from a player behind him, I believe BDS may be able to save their hero player, Bride, to finish off Benja. They're not going to rush in, though, because the plan is going down for SSG. And a lurk here from Ashen almost finds something. The plan is confirmed. A nigh impossible post plan. They're going to have to find the frags. BDS do just that. It's all up to Ashen and J9O. Both finding kills. Bride, the last one standing. He could not deny the plan. And now he's going to deny 2 players from Space Station. Trying to stick that defuse. Faking it back again. Being toyed with by Ashen. But he finds the first one. Low HP on Bride. J9O with the SMG available. Goes for the swing. Takes off his head. And a big round for SSG.
And a huge round for J9O. There's a 3 or 4 in the round. He got the castle barricades. He backstepped in from lobby. And while they were executing, he was a chaos factor. He got 2 kills. Shaiko was injured, of course, and Benja opening up that round forward. But then he just stopped planting out of nowhere. And there was one way that BDS could easily win. The Warden inside of Janitors. But then you got the backstep inside of Top Heaven. So SSG, they're attacking from everywhere. Injure, they confirm. Bride here under so much pressure, couldn't figure out what's going on, and then the backstep again. Gets 1, gets 2.
Wow, he had a 4K in that round for J9O. Yeah, next level performance here from J9O on that Kali. We called him out. 3 kills with that SMG.
You'd think with that hand gesture that something good would have happened, but
you would have thought so.
It was not so good for BDS.
No.
Not quite.
Bit of a read, at least, on what happened.
Yeah, this is the thing. BDS, I think, even in the rounds that they are losing to SSG so far, they always understand why they're losing and what they have to change to not lose the following time. And that's why you can never count them out, because Ligifag does have such a high level understanding for his opponents.
And even when BDS are winning, Ligifag will still comment on what the opponent did well.
True.
Like what happened after the first round, where he said, guys, they double dropped the open area hatch with a Blackbeard and a grenade. They're going to keep doing crazy stuff. So Ligifag doesn't matter win or lose. He's always constantly thinking one step ahead of the opponent. Unfortunately, he's 1 or 2 steps too far forward. And SSG read him like a book. A nade to go out for a lot of damage at the start. The cutoff from Faults.
That's a crazy nade lineup. Jesus. From downtown, almost takes down Ligifag, and a single bullet injures him. He's now dead. Blitz on the buffer force. He's a great shield player, by the way.
Can't believe the timing on that as well. 45 seconds into the round, already 2 picks, and a hell of a lot of ground taken for Space Station. Shaiko finally gets something. There's plenty of util still to be had here on the SSG side.
In the aggression, you see it. They got what they wanted. SSG now stabilized, reset the round, put up those flying drones. You got 2 kills, Shaiko low on HP. From a strategical win condition perspective, SSG are in full control. They got so much time to work with. They have Bok for verticality, Sophia for heart destruction. Forrest, very risky drop in lobby. He's completely alone, but the pressure is there. Solotov respects it. He falls back. He doesn't want that smoke.
Nitro.
That's good. Oh, he lives.
Bit of damage onto Benja, but not enough as of yet. Solotov has done a hell of a lot of HP damage in this round. Both Forrest and Benja. Bride, that C4 is completely blind, and it will be heard as well. J9O called upon to drone him out.
Here's Forrest, though, downstairs. Takes down...
Oh, what is going on? Okay. Solotov eventually finished off. Shaiko's the last one standing. He's the only one to have found a kill in the round for BDS. Nitro Cell is now dead in the water. He's going to find the first, easy peasy. Surely a second now, but Benja holds his nerve, holds back. Hiding at the base of the stairs, Shaiko needs to land this perfect shot. He sees him for a brief moment and does get the injure. Likely to finish as well. Triple kill on the round for Shaiko into a post plant. With Fultz and J90 assuming separate positions. One above and one far away. Goomine to go out. They're actually very far from this. What are the chances? What are the chances that Shaiko can make this happen? One kill for Fultz is enough.
Licky, you can't die first, bro!
Ashen calling out Leakafak. It was a very early pick that started everything for SSG. Damn, we can see in the all chat right now, Forrest is calling out BDS, said, stat player, haha, keep baiting your team. Shaiko responds, own goal.
I'm not sure what own goal.
I think he's...
Forrest, like, Breeden needs help.
I think Shaiko is saying, you know, you're preaching to the choir. Who's, who are you to talk?
When I see that, I mean, yeah. When you take down the Vigil as easily and early as SSG did, it makes the roam clear that much easier. But then again, it was Benji doing verticality inside of Archives Tellers, Blitz starts rushing on in, they get 2 more picks. The way that Bank often plays out is that you're going to have your setup, like any other bomb set, of course, any other map in the game, as defenders. When you lose the first main win condition, so previously, in that open air defense, there's a top 4 roam by 2 or 3 separate BDS players. When Leakafak dies the way that he did, without even fighting back, doing any damage, etc., your roam falls apart. You now lose a major part of your win condition because they were probably expecting to burn the first like 60 seconds of the round in there.
Yeah.
They lasted for like 15 seconds, right?
SSG is so quick. Like immediately they're in the top 4. Immediately they're flushing the second player down the elevator hatch, and already SSG have a catch player there waiting for him. It furthers the numbers advantage. The BDS are actually on the ropes on their map pick. On the defensive side, on a map that they've won 14 times in a row. Every time they've played it with this roster of 5 players, which has been quite a long time now, they have lost this map. Sorry, won this map.
I was trying to say, Yeah, so SSG, simplified. They're not just doing plan A, then plan B, or step 1, step 2, they're doing 2 steps at once. Again, they find the catch, uses downstairs in the basement. Great drone work, great intel game. And that's gonna, bit of a change up here for Ashen, looking for more.
How are you allowed to be in blue stairs in the first minute of the round
You
on a
shouldn't
bank
be.
basement?
You really should not be in BDS. They're not communicate the gaps and where they were. Ashen, surprisingly enough, doesn't go down into server to take further map control, but rather it's about room clear. Soft destruction, sees the back of his backpack, almost gets the kill, but not quite. Hatch opened up. That's a small adaptation, though, that Leakafak spoke about. Hey, you can counter this maybe by getting a shotgun there, for example.
Yeah,
almost worked.
It's a nice idea, but like that was 3 rounds ago, dude.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they remember it, right?
Yeah.
That this is now happening again, the patterns are being recognized. Now they see 2 players inside of server. Okay, that's playing for Forrest. He's gonna rotate around. So SSG, they don't have a set play right now. They're putting out the feelers. What's clear, what's not, where should we go for? And because BDS, they fell back, they've now got an open area control. They've killed the player on the server staircase, and they got all the roams locked down. Leakafak, as I say this, has retaken server stairs control, but I don't know if he's going to stick around. So SSG just have to decide now, is it going to be a hatch drop? Is it going to be a default plant? Is it going to be just playing for kills? Because they have enough manpower to go for any of those 3 plants.
That's the thing. Like you said, BDS are recognizing the patterns from SSG, but they need a little bit more than that. They need a bit of aggression. They need these kills. And now they've put it back into a 4 versus 4. SSG, like you said, have to make a call, have to decide how they're going to play this. They do eventually look to put pressure on server, opening up that hatch. There's still a mirror window placed in position in red, and no adequate way to cover that with SSG.
Just the 1C4 though, if there's good canisters on the default plant, time will be a huge problem for SSG, but if there is, they might be okay. Yeah, that the fire is popped. They'll have like 7 seconds left to work with right now, up against a single C4. This could work, this could fall apart. SSG, they gotta go for kills and get explosive because no, a plant is not gonna happen.
Oh, the Vulcan canister is gonna lock out the site. In deep he goes from Forrest, obfuscated by the smoke. The cover needs to be there, but he hasn't had a plan yet, and he's taken down. J90 with the backstab, but it's far too late, and there's nothing in it for SSG. BDS are on the board with another basement defense.
I swear, that's so bad, guys. I swear. Let's go. Let's make keep the round strike, guys.
On CEO?
We can go back in time now and say when Ashen got the kill onto Ella, should he have stuck around on server and taken that and map control and start working out those Goyo canisters, buy some time for his team? Well, he was needed elsewhere for the roam clear top floor instead, take open area. But ultimately, SSG, they didn't get enough done in the middle of that round. They got stalled out trying to get all the hatches. Then Ashen dies from an aggressive peek from Shaiko through the hatch downstairs. The round kind of slipped away. Back to an even round, kind of 2-2. And we do have to keep noting here, BDS, they are running around that bomb site with the hatches open. They are swinging out everywhere aggressively. SSG didn't want any gunfights. They could have easily taken them, but they wanted to execute despite not having all the tools to actually do it.
I think that's the read here that BDS have gotten. You have to start throwing some curveballs into SSG's plan. If you have a read on what they're doing, contest them before they can do it.
Yeah.
Shaiko did that. He's shooting people up through the hatch. That almost never works. Pretty much never get a kill on the players in open area, down in the basement, up through that hatch. This is an interesting choice from Shaiko as well, destroying all of the collateral on top of those desks, stock, so that he can see better after people jump in, so he can contest swing in the hallway.
Expecting a jump out now. Those curveballs you mentioned, SSG, I think they're waiting for something to happen.
No claymores.
Oh, you're right. So a jump out here would be genius if you went for it, but...
I think they're trying to bait it, though. That's part of the reason why they've brought no claymores. Instead, they want to hard watch these people.
This is the thing, though. On these bombs in particular, running around like Shaiko has been doing and just taking gunfights, it can get very tricky because, again, very long lines of sight. He's not playing Doc with an ACAR scope. It's a silly little Lesion with a T5. Shaiko does play 4-3 aspect ratio, though, so he shouldn't be too uncomfortable taking those engagements.
You can see very far, even with the holo, with that setup. But Solotov, he's contested with the ACOG, the UMP, and already found one. I don't know where Benja was, but Doku is not the kind of operator you want to lose early. She's a late round operator. You can't use those calls until 45 seconds into the round. Your second one doesn't generate until later than that. Ashen, though, getting aggressive. The fire goes out. Is there coverage from elsewhere to kill him as he retreats? There is not.
No.
He is forced back. He's playing Duck Duck Goose with Forrest, looking for something here on the Blackbeard. He's managed to get in the building somehow, and a lot of damage taken. Breede's head off. SSG inching towards this bomb site. BDS finding no safe haven to stand. But Solotov will contest Ashen. A repel now inside. Shaiko's ready for it. J90 and Forrest desperately dropping, but Liquefax got him. Up to Forrest now, the Blackbeard. He started things for BDS, but he will not be able to finish it. SSG shut out of it. BDS are looking solid. They take the lead.
I'm seeing Liquefax and Shaiko straight on the keyboard right there.
Yeah, Shaiko said in the all chat, talking about Bay.
You want to do cake to barrel strats? Play to barrel, play to barrel.
Oh, a suggestion there. From the right side of Solotov, and Liquefax, yeah, that's what you want to do? Okay, let's do it. You believe in that strat?
Kai Tubarao.
We've seen Solotov now in a couple of different series, like I mentioned earlier, start taking not necessarily control over the team, but being the right-hand man for Liquefax. This right here, though, not catching Solotov on the rotations, not clearing the corner, nobody droning it. I mean, he ends up getting 3 kills in the round. It was a huge reason why BDS couldn't get, or SSG rather, excuse me, couldn't get back into the bomb site once they made their first entry. So a small gap found and exploited. Massive consequence, of course, for Spacestation. But again, the vision was clear. The execute was good. The double fire, Blackbeard wrap one in, the nade tossed out, they get 2 kills. It was beautiful. But then, they lacked information game.
So for the first time, oh sorry, the second time we're going to go start from open area. I almost said first time, Nicholas, because the last time BDS played this bomb site, it was...
The site didn't matter a whole lot.
Yeah, it didn't really, because Liquefax died upstairs to a great nade and cut off the faults very early. There it is, the jump out! Ashen's ready, watching for users. A nice read from BDS, but SSG are expecting that early aggression.
It's crazy because we saw last round, HSG were waiting for that curveball and nothing happened. And a lot of teams and players would go, okay, that's not what they're about. But 2 rounds in a row, they watched for it. It finally happens. They get the reward. Yes, full takes a lot of damage, but this once more shows when you're a BDS player, okay, guys, they know what we're going to do. They're onto us. And you're going to start doubting yourself, okay, if that's what they know, then we're going to jump out the window. What about this upcoming play we're going to make? Do they know that too? Maybe we shouldn't do it anymore. It's too risky.
SSG are looking really in control here, surprisingly so. The BDS map pick, that's a lot of damage through the wall. Solotov is cut off. Even the Twitch drone was having a go at him. Ashen's found a kill, a second for the round. And SSG can continue scouting forward. The Twitch drone's still alive. BDS finding few places to call home on Bank.
Ashen owns Archives. He's in there getting kills 2 times in 6 rounds, finding that gap, forcing himself in the middle of the building, and it gives you so much control. He actually misses League Effect, dropped the hatch though. That was another freebie for him. Block upstairs also misses him. League Effect has gotten away with that. Somehow, some way, should have been dead. But because of those 2 earlier kills, it's still a 5v3 heavily favoring Spacestation, but they can't get too quiet now in this middle of the round. Like on Basement, they have to keep up that pace and keep progressing the map.
Yeah, Spacestation have 2 options though. They look to focus on targeting players and finding kills, which League Effect is going to take into his own hands and get back to site safely. Or do SSG instead try and form up for a plant?
They can't get the hats though, the kite claw is there, they could try and toss. No, they can't. IQ is dead as well. I mean, you can fish for it like this with the X-Kairos. The self-destruction will spread an area of effect. But they are very locked out. BDS, their strat was 2-bro Kaid. They might just win because of Kaid.
SSG still have numbers though. League Effect changes that. League Effect, he's going nuts. Archive is his now. Ashen is dead, as are most of SSG. Benja has to desperately drop down into side. League Effect's hurt him. A 4K for League Effect. J90 with it all to do. He can't even find the first one. Sharko polishes off the round. BDS unreal on the defense.
The desk had a point earlier on that in games, BDS, they have one player always step up and one person had not found that MVP just yet. And surprisingly enough, that person has been League Effect. But on Bank, in that previous round, a one-man army he was. And the craziest of all, he was supposed to be dead way before he got his first kill. The moment he drops the hatch right next to Ashen, right below the bug, I'm thinking to myself, he's not gonna get out alive, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. He saves the round for his team, and BDS go on to attack with a 4-2 defense half on Bank. We don't see it all that often. Bank tends to favor the attackers, but there's been these very small moments where BDS, they find the gap, to get away somehow from the grasp of Spacestation, and then the players that survive, Solotov and CEO, League Effect open area, they just pick up kill after kill.
To think that SSG chose to start on the attacking side on Bank, thinking that that would bear a little bit of an advantage to try and topple the behemoth that is BDS's Bank, and now they've only found 2 rounds on the half.
It should have been 4-2 for Spacestation though.
It should be.
That's not how it goes.
I mean, SSG have played so damn well this game. And yet, BDS still have stretched a significant lead here on Bank, considering that a lot of teams will favor the attack on this side. That's where BDS now reside. SSG need to lock in here as they go to the basement.
Often the first attack round is about setting the pace. HSG tried that with a fast push, or it's about just figuring out what your enemy wants to accomplish. BDS with a very slow start, droning everything out, flank cams, rotation cameras as well. They're just trying to figure out, okay, is this going to be an aggressive and explosive roaming SSG? Or is it going to be, hey, they're going to play for plant deny, you know, heavy turret on the bomb side. When you see an Echo, Jaeger, Smoke, 2-Brow, Goyo, yes, it's going to be all about the bomb side, the 5v5, the execute, the chaos. And since BDS have done such a quick job at getting in the building, getting the hatches, getting full map control in only 60 seconds, I wouldn't be too concerned with the Echo and Smoke grenades because they have so much time already.
Both of these teams are so quick on their attacks on Bank. The 2-Brow does slow it down, but Ashen will not be able to delay that hatch forever. The hatch on the side, of course, I'm referring to. Server as well now being contested by BDS. Users opening up that hatch. So much hard breach available an answer to anything.
Oh, it's huge.
That SSG might bring. And yeah, J9 is taken down. Guess who? It's Smoke. That's one of the late round operators you mentioned.
That buys you like 40 seconds on the clock. I mean, now it's only Goyo Fire and a single C4 to deny a plant. If you're a Spacestation right now,
by Goyo Fire,
you might need to just say, guys, we're losing all of our plant deny. We need to go get some kills. If they start fishing aggressively, do not get surprised because they might have to.
That's right. And that's the read that BDS have to have now. Good info on site. Forrest with his bulletproof camera is able to stun out that Twitch drone, but now it's been taken out by the Ash. And Ashen has contested the hatch for a kill.
There it is, the first swing. Ashen, very important player. The only C4 in pocket of defense, the only real plant deny. Sure, Echo Stuns can stop the plant from going down, but it can't kill the planter himself. So when BDS want to get active, Ashen has to be perfect.
This is some old school siege right here. Bride to force down this plant, and it will be a game of attrition. The Yokai drones and Ashen's C4 to try and deny the plant, but how about that from Ashen? Contesting the map holes. His second kill this round. After SSG started at a deficit. This Yokai is going to be so tough to see. Bride's not going to be able to find it without peeking aggressively. Ashen's found his third. He's calling on Leakafact. The Tubarau is going to stall out this plant as well. Bride slowed down, and Faults has control above the hatch. Doesn't matter that BDS found the smoke early, because that's all they will find this round. SSG can win the round on time. BDS still 2 players up, and nothing at all to do.
And Ashen was perfect. I mean, they understand what every player needs to do so well. Ashen was not concerned with the planter whatsoever because Echo was saying, hey, I got the planter, don't worry about it. Ashen was fishing for the plant cover instead. He found a hatch kill here before they execute. Then uses Maverick, is covering the red hallway. Ashen is swinging aggressively for this. Look at the timer, less than a second left on the plant. That's Forrest saying, don't worry about it, I'm gonna wait 6 full seconds, then I'm gonna stop them from planting. They trust in each other. The C4 wasn't even needed because guess what? Ashen got a 3rd kill afterwards as well.
Yeah, that was so good from SSG. The BDS strategically won a lot of the elements in the round. They cleared out all the Vulcan fire as well, but it didn't matter. Ashen's gun came to life, and BDS, there was so many different elements to deal with. You can't deal with the smoke, and the Goyo, and the Tubarau C4, and the Yokais. If BDS even miss one of those, then SSG is going to win it.
And then Ashen just hits the crazy shots.
It certainly doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Siege is a game of utility, but it's also an FPS game.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh yeah, there's no way back. And it's like, no, actually, there's always a way back.
It's the most unique blend where, yes, util is massively impactful in Siege. Strategy, team play, team chemistry, but also you just need 5 bullets to win anything.
Yeah.
5 bullets, that's all it takes. 1-hit headshot with every weapon.
Now, one thing that has kind of flown under the radar, Benjamin is 1-6. Benja is a huge player. On defense, specifically in my mind, roaming around, getting value for his team. On the attack, was getting Bok, doing vertical destruction and such, but he just hasn't been in the right positions, I think, to get into those kills, because other players of his team either will get them first, or the plan fell apart, and he's up against, like, impossible odds.
Yeah.
And I want to see him come to life.
He was flexing on the attack 4 different operators he played across the 6 rounds, so quite a challenging role that he's playing as well. It's not a simple entry fragging position.
Well, I want to see it now, like it's round 8. You got some rounds to play out. He's got a good read for the game, understanding of the flow of things. Fall back archives, reinforce off that wall. Slow down the roam game right now. Just sacrifice a little bit of map control towards BDS. They got utility, right? The Kai, Tubarau, and Echo. All about information game and wall deny. Benja Master Faults on Oryx and Mossy. All about taking gunfights and getting crazy with it if you see an opportunity.
Very unusually, we see a lot of obs blockers as well from Forest instead of that C4. Speaking of nitro cells, there's Benja throwing one out. Yokai drone goes down from Shaiko. He'd also be able to spot that C4 if he goes over near it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been taken down again.
They know they have IQ now, though, so Benjamin has to be a little bit careful here. At least if my Yokai gets shot through the floor like that, I'm thinking IQ is very likely.
You hear that P12 from a mile away as well.
The bait.
Leakafact knows exactly where this Yokai drone is. That's both Yokais taken down.
Yeah. You see League of Facts face cam right now. He is yelling like he knows now the win conditions so much clearer for BDS. No intel really for SSG, and plan should be very possible. The only problem is it's still 5v5.
Bride is much safer as well now with that Yokai done because the guard break is more safe. Solotov here, he gets a kill out of it. He's being pressured now from multiple angles. Still a lot of damage taken. The impact will finish him off. Massive from Forest as well to find 2 picks. A third now for Forest. All up to poor Bride here with the pistol. J90 finishes him off. SSG are back in black, baby. And the scoreline is tied, 4 rounds apiece.
DT3 right there for him.
It's such an impressive round as well because they're operating, different people working together. We saw 2 people basement, 1 guy main staircase trying to check down the Blackbeard. It was very messy. They got it done. While that's happening, Forrest and the other player on the bomb side, they are locking it down, getting kill after kill, making sure nobody could get comfortably inside the building for BDS. And again, strategically, BDS finding both Yokais, having Blackbeard and Blitz. They had great player positions. It looked like it was going to be a devastating round for Spacestation, and yet teamwork can make anything happen. I mean, look at this. 3 defenders, 2 downstairs, 1 to his right. That's sort of soaking up so much pressure. Then this happens. Forrest locks down the site. Actually alone. He didn't have any help. It was just him.
Dude's nuts. And that's not the easiest weapon to 3K with. Recently received a little bit of a nerf buff situation as well. Forrest just locked down that site. Leakafak is seething, but it's still very... we've seen him crash out before. That was not a crash out. That was very much he's in control.
He's chilling.
I mean, he's intense, but relatively chill.
I think he's just very efficient in communication. Like, he's very quick, he's very brief. And people can be like, oh, that's intimidating, but it's like, but you only have 10 seconds to talk about this stuff. He can't be too sugarcoaty with it. Now, while that happened last round, they execute. Benzema dropped the basement hatch, I think. He's again 1-6. He's not seeing any of this action. SSG are almost playing 4v5 on the bomb side and still shutting down BDS.
BDS now look to attack this top floor. I believe that electric blow was taken down by Kali. We will see this breach successful.
I'm gonna say that drone was intended to go there. But at first, I didn't think it was.
I think it was a flank clutch drone.
Yeah. So let's guess here. Is there a castle barricade to the right of Full, do you reckon? Is that why he's playing here? Have we seen this? Yeah, there is. There's a castle barricade. So again, if you don't destroy the castle barricades, you can have these extended positions. The second it gets opened up, he's in trouble. But the thing is, he's got ADSs. He fell back though.
Yeah. He's got another castle barricade to protect him. And another one as well to protect him from the long angle from square. Oh, the ADS is still alive. Ashen's gone for a jump out.
Oh, doesn't catch it.
He's gone into lobby. He does miss his opportunity, but he might be able to find it all the way deep from in ATMs. I think, do they know about it? Have they read this? He's now suspicious. Do they know about his position? Meanwhile, Sharko's gone down.
They don't have a drone in lobby, but I think oh, there we go, they know.
Must know. Now looking for the kill, it's Leakafak. The drones have come out. The upside down rappel from users. Very methodical there from BDS to hunt down. Cheeky little SSG player.
It's a very quick rotation there from them. We saw all the members try and get that kill together. But they've lost the Grim, they've lost Shaiko. It's a very huge loss in this round. The saving grace, I guess, backup, breathing, Capital Fire and Flames can create a pathway. Look at Fulz. While that happened, he snuck into this corner. If they rappel on in without joining this bomb site, they're not gonna know. And there's only 2 drones left for BDS. One is inside a lobby, so they're gonna have no idea that Fulz has gotten this aggressive.
Yeah. It's so hard to flush him out of this position if you don't know he's in that position.
It should be impossible. I mean, they can't even breach the walls. I mean, they have 1 Selma charge left, but there are kite claws on the corner wall. This is the one drone that can find him.
Does it look the right way? I think it must have spotted him. Immediately locked down. Here comes the fire. Fulz taking that damage. Gets aggressive. Cut off by Bride. That's what BDS needed.
1 drone. That's all they had.
What is going to happen here for BDS as they start to encroach upon the side? They collapse!
Let's fucking go!
One by one, they find these SSG players, and one by one, they fall.
I swear the way they play is so annoying. Well played. Good round, guys. Good
He's like praising SSG, but he sounds so pissed off.
The way they play is so annoying, guys. We are so good.
It is true, though.
Execute from everywhere every time against them. Remember, we can't just do like default execute.
Yeah, we can't do default executes. Gotta get those curveballs in there. But League Effect's right. The way Spacestation they play Siege is very annoying, and it's a very underrated aspect of the game. When you think of like Blackbeard and Muncie Blitz, sure they're strong operators, but they're annoying to deal with. You can't just take simple gunfights. You gotta start flexing different operators. Great execute there. It's just exploding together. And again, they had one drone for the entry. That one drone took down Fultz, which would have stopped the execute.
Yeah. You got to be diligent even in the late round and keep checking these positions because SSG are going to keep re-ratting into these corners, sneaking back in. If you drone them out, it should be a free kill. If you don't, well, that's your whole round gone. Now, SSG go back to the basement. This was so hard for BDS to attack last time.
It was, but I mean, surely they've learned from their previous failures. They got Twitch for the glory canisters. I mean, they got more utility in general. I feel like for SSG, showing BDS what you're gonna do and then replicating it 1-to-1 for a second time is not gonna work out well for you. I was gonna say maybe Fultz roams this time, but no, it's gonna bait out for one drone, full unpack. They're surrendering full map control to BDS off the prep phase.
Ironically, for SSG, one of the things that won them the previous round on this basement bomb site was the Echo, which has now been dropped for the Kaid. But BDS have Maverick, so Kaid Tubrau, even in combination, should be nullified by users.
So I was really hoping, thinking a deep SSG bank basement roam, change things up.
It's how they like to play. They love to get aggressive, they love to get in your face. Instead, they're going for a full turtle strat.
We'll see how it plays out.
5 players on site.
They're not even playing server. They're giving everything for free. I mean, they are welcoming in BDS, saying, you know what? We do not care. You can try and execute any way you'd like. We get answers for it. The only issue is this answer, that's not it. They're double swinging the hatch. They need to get this kill. Oh, okay, it works. I'm wrong.
That's massive. Killing Maverick, that's the one operator you need to take down. And now they can protect whatever hatches remain thanks to the Tubrau Kaid combo.
There's Tifana though. There's can openers. This might not matter as much as we actually thought originally. Window, secondary, and piece and
both hatches are open.
Yeah, that's it. They've got what they need. The long line of sight for C4 to die. Yes, it's only 2 Excalibur pellets, but it's better than 0. So just like that, yes, Maverick dies, but they can do exactly what they want to do. Minute and 20 seconds left. 3 Toxic Babes, 2 C4s. SSG this time around, likely gonna play for plant the knife first, then get desperate later.
Ashton's gonna keep contesting this hatch though. He might be fighting with Leakafak. Leakafak decides instead to get out his smoke and fire.
That's
the gas. It's gonna be the classic old school game of bait and switch.
Yeah, Breedy's gonna stand forward and bait out smoke after smoke after smoke. What you can do as a defender, instead of smoking it next time, you could toss a C4, change up the pacing. But this is the thing, there's only 1 smoke left in pocket. So at about 20 seconds left in the round, they can start planting for BDS. Then you gotta land those C4s or go for a crazy gun kill.
Is next gonna be a C4 or a smoke? The smoke is taken down! So is a C4! Solotov might have saved the round here. Another Nitro goes out to the wrong plant position. Diffuser on the ground for BDS. Aggression from Benja. When he's needed, he comes through, but not for a second. And Shaiko and Bride now have to cover in the post plant. But Forrest is already low HP. Fultz has gone for a massive hike all the way upstairs. And immediately, as Forrest has found one, it becomes a 1v2 for Bride. The clutch king from France, holding on as SSG make their way forward. Out comes the Bearing 9, biding his time. Forrest is watching from above. Fultz drops. It's a 2v1 still. They have no choice but to stick it. The first kill for Bride. He's going to clutch it. He is going to clutch it. There is no time for Forrest. And BDS have won it. Despite everything from SSG, BDS have won it.
Let's go. Good round. Good fucking
One of the hardest retakes in a round of Rainbow Six Siege is Bank Basement. They found the retake. They even got the kill, but they were shy 2 seconds. 5 left. The tech 7s for counter defuse. Not enough. And with that round lost, Callout will step in and say, okay, my time to take control. Get us past this line, go into overtime, reset it out. But they're down 2 rounds. It's 6-4 in favor of BDS.
That's right, map point. On the back of that clutch from Bride, what's Callout going to say to the squad to get them back into it?
deception.
Damn, 5 seconds spare. Microphone goes up. Had nothing more to say. So all I really heard there was sound like, let's go basement and be hard as a fish. And I don't think that's accurate. Because what does that mean?
Fishes are not that hard.
Exactly, it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe that's the joke. Maybe hard as a fish means let's go for a really soft roam. Let's be all over the map. Let's be slippery.
I really think that SSG in hindsight could get so much better. The 2v1, because the wall wasn't breached open that much because of the Hibana Kairos, Foles doesn't need to swing. He was sprinting into the gunfire where it's like, if you just stand there and hold the angle, one, timer's gonna go lower, and B, Breedy has to come to you. Oh, they're holding their breath. And then straight to the keyboard.
Immediately into the all chat. It's a shame you guys have missed so much of the all chat in this game because it has been back and forth. It's basically just a game of Leakafak, Shaiko, and Solotov calling Ashen a beta. and then Ashen calling them a beta.
When they called the technical timeout, I think it was one of the BDS players said, "Coach, don't be too hard on Forrest. He's doing his best." It's like, he's 8-7, Benja's 2-8. I mean, why is Benja avoiding all this trash talk? He's just a neutral guy.
He's a European, that's why.
That's right, he's on their side. Actually, this is Benja helping BDS by being 2-8.
Yeah, Benj has already got one hammer for Europe. He's looking for another one.
That's foul. But no. If we go into a third map, which seems very likely, we do have to keep our eye on Benji Master because this 2-8 performance is not good enough. He's not making the right decisions, not hitting the right timings, not being utilized perhaps correctly by SSG in some of these rounds. And I love this change-up from BDS. This 0 coming into play, 6 SAM cams as they're called, or we call them. Ton of information. Good wall, gadget deny for jammers or elements, varieties, etc. And BDS can play a very slow and steady round.
One of the best maps for Zero as well.
Probably the best map.
Yeah. So many places. And what you can do is you use those cams to cover flank watches, and it means you can use them with your drones more for active work, hunting down players like Ashen, which BDS have just done. No response from SSG. Trying to hold fast to their positions, but there's no safe havens to hide behind. Even Faults here. He's got one my magnets to try and protect him from any projectiles thrown his way, but the Capital's not in this lineup.
You see this from BDS, it's just mini execute to clear out these player positions, so much constant information from Leagueifag as well. And when you get an agile like him with all these eyes on the map, he can call the perfect execute.
And he's sneaking all the way upstairs as well onto Banana, and he gets a pre-fire on a J90. 2 players left alive for SSG. As Benja finally gets another frag on the board, but his position now known, he has to vacate the premises. He does so successfully deep into Archives. He goes back towards the side. Potentially, he has the ability to make a rotation.
Second problem though, Leagueifag being dead, he's a permanent drone/cam watcher. BDS will have more eyes than ever, and they got intel.
Shot goes down. Benja, finally, his impact is felt here on Bank. Looking for a little bit more, but the C4 finds nothing.
He needs more. It's gotta be good for one more. Here it is, 50-50 Benja. Can you make it happen?
Users takes him out. Head clean off. Forest, 1v3 for the map. As BDS look to push us the distance to Nighthaven Labs.
Time is low, 15 seconds. This is completely winnable, but they're all on the same side of the map.
Oh, good off angle. One player down. Finished off. A second one spotted. As the plan, threatened here by Brede. He doesn't have an impact to work with. He has to get it done with the MP5. Almost winning the fight on a Solotov, but the turret bests him. BDS will never go down without a fight. That's right, the upper bracket is still very much alive. And we go the distance to Nighthaven.
Heartbreaking final round. Forrest whiffing so many bullets. Benja only really warming up, never quite getting fully enabled. But this does mean that the best team will have to take it here on the third map. Will it be Benja showing up, SG keeping their aggression? Will it be BDS masterfully adapting round after round to perfect reads?
We knew that this upper bracket semi-final was going to be a banger, and BDS have guaranteed it. We're going the distance. Let's see if SSG can bounce back on Nighthaven Labs after this.
back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, 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 back it up. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back.
Well, BDS remain the bank domination squad. Shout out to production for that one. But it is true, they were unbeaten on this map. You mentioned it going into this, and they stay unbeaten. What a result.
Yeah, they have never lost this map with this roster. And I think, in fact, courtesy of James Dev Matashu, I think this is now 15 unbeaten on this map. You have to go back to the middle of 2023. Gamers Without Borders was the last time that they lost this map, which is absolutely incredible. I am so surprised anybody leaves it open inside of a map veto against BDS. But hey, teams keep still making that mistake. And for a while there, it actually looked really, really good for BDS, for SSG. It looked really, really good for them. They managed to get themselves on top once they changed over onto that defense. They were doing well. They were really causing big utility-based problems for BDS to solve. And it actually took Likifaka, and it was between one of the rounds where he came over and he said to his team, he said, guys, they're playing so frustrating. They're so annoying to play against. We have to do something different. We have to play this a little bit differently. And I think we saw it there. Obviously, Brede gets a huge clutch that kicks them off. But from that moment in time, BDS, they upped their pace. They played a little bit differently. They were a bit more aggressive, a bit more direct, and it really paid off in the end.
Yeah, some big moments for individual players in this map here. You mentioned the clutch from Brede. There was a lot of typing and talking in between these teams as well. We love that kind of drama. But Sorota, the best performing player on this map. Flawless on the entries for himself as well. A great showing from BDS.
Yeah, a super smart player in terms of Solotov. I actually went into the playing area and I listened to the communications and stuff, and he's not the most vocal player, but he is vocal enough. Played a lot of Twitch, particularly on the attacks of BDS. We saw it in the highlights package there. Single-handedly won them around by stepping into sight just before the plant was going down, taking out the smoke, taking out a C4, and allowing Brede to get that plant down, which ultimately led to Brede's clutch. He's a vital player for this team, and again, he's just another string of players that is just unreal at their job on this team.
Yeah, showing it time and time again, and it's just us here right now. We didn't just kick our NAN list away to celebrate this EU map victory a little bit more. No, actually, Fox is over at the Teleswader to talk about one of the attacks that SSG did.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you for the throw. SSG did not get the map win, but their attack on the CEO bomb site is very impressive to me because of the way they're able to minimize the amount of risk that they take before they go for the execute. So first things first, to break down this SSG attack, we have J9O who's able to lock down lobby control to make sure he's able to get anybody who overextends. Forrest is going to be able to smoke for the plant, but also hold lounge control. Fultz is going to jump into the smoke and plant in the smoke, and Ashen can do one of two things. He can either hold lounge if Forrest gets down, or he's able to push curve and contest if Benja gets taken down. And now the last member that we didn't mention is Benja. He's going to jump into trading to be able to pull the BDS attention away from them, because as he jumps in, Shaiko has to focus on him, Brede has to focus on him, and also Likifak is going to be able to rotate in case he needs to trade somebody on their roster. And it works perfectly well. He pulls BDS's attention away so that SSG is able to then commence going into the CEO bomb site, and it works perfectly well. He gets down onto Shaiko. He gets downed himself by Elysian. But if you look at it now, watch where all of the BDS members are. They're all rotating because they just lost their white player, they just lost their top red player, and now they're in a position where they need to stabilize. We have to pick up Shaiko, we have to calm down before we can transfer over to clearing out CEO. And that's exactly what BDS goes for. They try to pick up Shaiko as SSG takes that opportunity to go for the plant in the smoke. Yes, Ashen is going to do the second option and push on Brede to be able to contest them so the plant can go down, even though BDS is able to trade Forrest in the site, and they eventually pick up Fultz planting. Now, the last member from SSG that we did not talk about, who was outside the map the whole time, is J9O. BDS assumes he's going to rotate to play for the post plant, but instead, he makes a big heads-up play and pushes up Red, and he's able to get 2, evening the man count, putting SSG in a good position with the post plant to win it. In CEO, we actually see Ashen take down Licky because BDS has no idea where he is. They have to trade it. And now it leaves SSG in a position where they can just play time, trade their HP bars to be able to make sure that they can guarantee this win. J9O sneaks in. Once Brede has to tap the defuse, that's where J9O swings and gets the final kill. And that was an amazing attack. And sometimes the path of least resistance is what was able to get SSG some round wins. But unfortunately, they didn't get the map. But hopefully we can see some more creativity in map 3, but we'll have to wait for a little break.
Ouais, choc-les. Choc-les. Ouais, choc-les, choc-les, choc-les. Ouais, voilà ce qu'ils me disent. Je les entends parler et ils m'étrisent. J'arrête que pour rafler la mise. Petit pas sur la piste. Et le succès, je l'ai pisté. Disent que la place du premier. Je fais monter la côté. Sur moi, tu mises gros. Tu connais déjà l'équipe. Ça criera chiffres. La somme je la triple, la concurrence la dribble et le stade est en délire. Ça fait choquer, j'arrive pour tous les choquer. Toute la foule elle est choquée. J'espère que t'es accroché, accroché. Gauche, droite, esquive rageux. Coach m'a rajouté du temps de jeu. Dans l'action, ouais, je me sens en feu. Je suis on fire, fire. Je fais la différence au compteur. Money time, ça shoot sur le buzzer. Je suis on fire, fire. Choqué, j'arrive pour tous les choquer. Toute la foule elle est choquée. J'espère que t'es accroché, accroché. Choqué, j'arrive pour tous les choquer. Toute la foule elle est choquée. J'espère que t'es accroché, accroché.
SSG were hoping they could clear this in two, but we're gonna need a third map to decide who gets to stay in that upper bracket. And the stakes are high because let me remind you, if you win this game, you are one match away from playing the Six Invitational Grand Final. You'll match up against Furia. It's not an easy matchup, but I believe any of these two teams would sign for that immediately would they have had the chance.
Absolutely. Obviously, these two teams both have aspirations of hitting that Six Invitational Grand Final. And of course, we go to map 3 in this game. I will say Nighthaven Labs for me, I think, you know, we were talking about this, it's a reasonably even map in terms of preference of both teams. It's in the lower end of their preferences. But I do just want to address that both of these maps, both of these teams have significantly large map pools. They're not operating on a 5, 6, 7 map pool. They're both very comfortable playing Labs. And it will be BDS that start out on that defense, which is considered the more defender-sided. Labs is considered a defender-sided map, and as such, take that first advantage, Fox.
I think whoever is able to start off on a hot foot going into Labs, because they both have their favorable sides. BDS is getting defense, which I would say they're the better team on defense currently, but SSG is getting attack, and the SSG creativity when it comes to their attacks, they're able to abuse that Blackbeard, they're able to use that Blitz. The way that Force is able to use these niche operators to get into the map is what make SSG so scary. And if they can have that confidence going on to defense, this is a map that works in their playstyle. It's so big, they're able to play around and be able to focus on their trades.
We're seeing the SSG players currently smiling. They have everything to play for, but the question is if they'll still smile after the upcoming map. The map is ready, so one more map to decide who gets to stay in that upper bracket. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, this has been a hell of a series so far, and it is befitting that it has gone the distance.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever wins this match is one BO3 away from the grand final. At the Six Invitational, somewhere that BDS has never been, Spacestation, last time they were in an SI grand final.
They won.
They won it. That was 5 years ago, but North America is so close to having a team in the upper bracket final. The winner of BDS and SSG will meet the reigning champions, Furia, to determine who will make it into the grand final as our first team through the upper bracket. We're on to mat number 3. BDS, have your hearts at home, but here in Boston, there's no doubt who the local crowd will favor when we get to the main stage. SSG versus BDS kicking off here on Nighthaven Labs.
So just to make sure I understand this fully, the winner will play Furia, yeah?
The winner of this will play Fury.
I would rather lose at that point. You know what? I would rather
You're going to have to beat him at some point. If you want the hammer, you're going to have to take on the big dogs.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. And just like the very first map here, quite some time ago on Border, double shield ban to start things off. Both teams saying, SSG, you're a good Blitz team. BDS, you're a commander team. But that does leave Blackbeard open, which both of these teams have brought out whenever given the chance. Valkyrie, Castle, they follow through. One gives a ton of information, verticality, C4s. We saw BDS use that playstyle, and of course, both love the Castle, especially on Bank.
Deimos and Bach left in, though. A lot of vertical potential. We've seen both of these teams use it, especially on Border. Should we get to an overtime? I have no bloody clue who would take it. But we start here in the first half, of course. BDS on the defensive side, SSG starting on the attack. It's been a game of attrition in this matchup. Both teams traditionally in this game favoring a little bit more peeled back setups. We haven't seen as many heavy roams, as much hyper aggression on Bank as we expected to see. And as the guys on the desk theorize, will Spacestation use the extra space on this map to do a lot more long roams, a lot more extended aggressive plays that we expect to see out of SSG? Remains to be seen on their defensive side. They start on the attack here first.
So of course, in the first map, we saw a 2-4 half favoring SSG starting attack. That was Border. Second map of Bank, it was a 4-2 side for BDS starting on defense. So it's been not even Stevens 3Ds across the board, but it's always when that side swap comes through, they start getting close. Getting those rounds close together. Nobody really taking away a massive round lead as of yet.
No, both of the matches have been reasonably convincing, but not shutouts by any stretch. And I have a feeling as we head to a lot more of neutral ground, this will be a higher contest. Immediately breed a successful juggling on the exothermic charges. Stripping a lot of hard breach utility away from SSG. Thankfully, we've got faults on Maverick.
That's the backup plan, but then we see the mirror window in response to the mind games already starting here in the very first round. With the Maverick, you're gonna walk up and try and, get the torch going, but because the mirror window is opened up, you're exposed, you can down to C4s, and there's no range to hard breach destruction from SSG, so they might need to just say, you know what, we can't do this right now. Bolt's gone elsewhere. BDS playing strats, playing nice and slow, forcing SSG to problem solve.
Another claw deployed. Droned. Drone all taken out. Brede tempted to go for a bit of a C4 as he opens up above the wall.
I mean, now the Maverick becomes quite nice. Now you're inside the building. The kite claw should be a big issue. You got Ashen downstairs. So we've seen teams play this attack many times in the past what the big win condition is Benja and Bok downstairs. If they can clear out these players vertically, you either get free kills or a bunch of bomb site control. You time that while Merrick in the wall by the bomb site, and you should be good here for SSG. BDS, they're not going to have many playable positions in just a brief moment.
Yeah, but SSG have wasted a lot of time here and still not found what they're looking for.
Where's the Maverick? I mean, he's in the room, but he's not using his gadget.
Strange. Fultz is still just holding onto the diffuser. Getting aggressive, peeking on forward. User's ready to contest him. Should he peek this doorway? Spots his shadow for a brief moment. User's likely favored in this bomb site. SSG have really stalled out. Eventually, Forrest gets his exothermic charge ready to deploy on the wall, but how are SSG actually going to open it?
Why not? I mean, I know they want the kite claw, but they're not blocking downstairs. There we go. 35 seconds left. Now they get exothermic charge in.
That time.
But now you got two, bro. They get the kill. They freeze the wall. Now they're locked out. Why not just Maverick the wall?
It's taken way too long for SSG to fall flat. Less than 30 seconds remain. A C4 pre-ripped here by Solidov as well. Goes out, detonates. Is not successful in finding any player. SSG's gonna have to get desperate, but re-aggression here from Shaiko. He's found one, and now trapped into a corner. Forrest goes down, all up to Fultz. The Maverick, who failed to open the wall, is now left in a 1 versus 3. Shaiko claims 3 kills in the round. BDS dominate in the opening of Nighthaven.
That round is very concerning to me as, you know, a caster of SSG right now. That was not good enough, and I want to say this, that's the first round in this entire best of 3 where I generally think SSG had not the right read in this situation. Either you Bok downstairs, you kill the Kite Claw, it takes 2 seconds, because Bok was downstairs waiting for something to happen. If not that, you just take the Maverick. Make a nice little line. It can be pretty far up, then you can crouch breach with Thermite later if you want to, but they stood in the same room for over a minute and a half and didn't do a single thing. The Bok died shortly after, no self-destruction. The Deimos wasn't downstairs for anything either. I mean, this entire execute just fell flat.
Not a good look on the attacking side for SSG, who are the second best attacking team at the tournament.
Oh,
yeah, behind Oxygen with a 52% attacking win rate. A surprise to see them struggle so much with something that seems so evident of what you should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, also North America is a region, whenever I think of this map, Nighthaven Labs, I'm thinking Sonics, Dark Zero, they play it domestically. I'm thinking NA, generally speaking, they were very early to adopt this map in the pro meta, whereas Europe and Brazil, a little bit slower. So I feel like you've had so much domestic practice surely in scrims. They should be good at this. They should have done an attack 1,000 times already. Yeah. And yet, it seemed like they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, unusual. Well, hopefully it's just first round jitters for SSG. Plenty of rounds left in this map to go.
Oh, Swiss cheese.
Av is making an appearance, this time to Swiss cheese the wall. Shaiko, with the MPX instead of the DMR, is looking to contest it. Spots out the player for a second. A few bullets rat-tat-tat through him. No damage dealt as of yet between sides here. On the basement, BDS, there's a bit of Swiss cheese.
I like
really
it.
Only valuable in the late round. Speaking of late round, Yokai going down is going to affect BDS.
This is where Fultz with Maverick can get that Swiss cheese going first, and I can go upstairs, help the roam clear, and later on anyone can go outside and cover those angles. So they're going to try and nape.
Oh, no!
What is that? Ashen?
Ashen got baited. Info for SSG on the back of the camera. BDS still get away with a kill. Thank you, users. He'll get back to site with that freebie in tow.
So instead of using the Bok skeleton key and open up the wall and go for a kill, he just pre-fired the yellow pin through the wall, doesn't connect the bullets, and then he dies. It's again another puzzling start for Spacestation, and they lose a very important operator in the Bok. Sure, they got the ram, but look at the map control. BDS, they're just fighting back. They want to contest for map control.
Oh, C4 might find it.
Oh,
big down there. Onto Forrest. However, Likafak won't be aware of it. The Yokai drone may get information. He knows that Fultz is looking to hunt him down. ZFAC has been finished off by that player outside. SSG can start to pick back this defense, but that Yokai is still going to persist. Info for BDS eventually goes down. No more Yokais available for Breed, but they've been worth their weight in gold in this mid-round.
Doing this much damage to a Blackbeard player of Forest also it cannot be understated. I mean, he's going to die to a single bullet in the feet seas. A C4 that can be miles away will injure, or in this case, kill him outright. Goo mines also can be very lethal all of a sudden. So he's going to be a lot more passive in this role, most likely. Normally, Blackbeard is an entry operator. He might just have to be a supportive kind of cast. Sacrifice him, get a trade going. It's 4v4. the issue is time is of the essence. BDS have plenty of answers. C4s, goo mines.
Got to pick that out, especially low HP. We'll rip through a low HP Blackbeard. Ooh, that's a cheeky bit of vertical. Solitop's taking a hell of a lot of damage. That's nasty from the player on the other side. Impact, though, from Solitop could finish off the Blackbeard as C4 goes nuclear. J90 is down, but Foltz finds his opening. Benja looking for his. Forest very low HP. He is to be the planter, but there's still a C4 available for Shaiko, but big kills from Benja.
Foltz is stuck outside.
The Zodo canister. Foltz is stuck outside. Bride has to find a way to deny this plan, but if Foltz can't cover, then it doesn't matter. Bride clutches up again. What are you looking at? There's no angle for Foltz. He can't find it.
I killed one, guys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go stock.
How do you fumble that? Oh, no. Immediately into a timeout for Space Station. That is a critical error. They need to reset immediately.
It's all about the mental anti-tilt call out here. I can't hear anything, sadly. We've got some background players getting ready for the match, I think.
It's very telling they're looking at Foltz's face. I mean, I hate to say it, but there is no two ways about it. He really fumbled that round. All he had to do was peek through that little hole and cover his teammate. Bride had to run through his line of sight for almost a full second. He just needed to land enough bullets.
He was worried about the door swing, looks away, and then the wrong timing for him, essentially. So frustrating. But also, if Blackbeard had a bit more health, he wouldn't have died to one bullet, and then it would have been a 3 versus 2. So, I mean, this injury from Benja is nasty. But look at this. When Forrest pushes through, lives the C4, and right here, he dies. One bullet, whoop, he's gone. And
how did Foltz not land that?
Yeah, oh.
Gut-wrenching.
It's one of those. I mean, don't worry, guys, it's free. It just wasn't free this time, unfortunately. So SSG now, I worry for them a little bit because things are getting very real. It's third map against BDS. I mean, you know, if you win this, yes, you're against Furia, but you're one BO3 away from Grand Finals. This is a huge step for SSG, and this is just for BDS, kind of meeting expectations. Backs against the wall down 0-2. So much on the line. Will pressure start getting to Space Station? Or can they stay composed in this? Because when they play the best Siege, they're playing fast. They're finding gaps. Out of nowhere, they explode and they play together. If they start hesitating or they don't believe in the same vision, I mean, then BDS will just rip them apart.
Yeah, that they will. Starting to see weaknesses for SSG. Just have to keep their heads above the water and restabilize here on this attacking side. They're going up against the Clash, which is the last opponent that you want to face when you're on a bit of a tilt. Thankfully, Ashen's been running a lot of Zofia.
Yeah.
That's one of the best counters to that Clash.
The only thing I heard from Callout during that time was that he was saying how BDS are playing around the wall tonight, the two-bro, the Kaid. They need to try and just like get the first step done. The fact that BDS then counter-reply with a Clash that is super frustrating. Benja actually alive, they're planting as well. What is this?
1 minute into the round and the plan is going down.
So
Where is Foltz pulling this one off? It's just straight into sight. Bride upstairs, he's trying to support. Ashen desperately trying to find something, but he will be bested. All his job was done, though. It didn't really matter. Now outside the building, SSG can simply cover their angles. BDS, there's absolutely no way that they could pull off a Ghana defuse retake here. Control above for BDS. Given away. SSG established quite a lead, and they can just put the final bullet in. Big round from Benja. Opening and closing for SSG. They will not dwell on the errors of the past. They get back into it straight away.
That's it. The worry that I had, I mean, I got my answer. They are still locked into this, not giving up. So much focus with the Clash upstairs. BDS got distracted. And then Benja, SSG, they found the one player downstairs, jumped inside the window. This is the thing, when you play the Clash, you need a gun behind them. Normally we see defenders having like a C4 operator in the basement for a plant deny. They didn't. They're playing 3 guys upstairs and the Clash, then just having one sole player by the first bomb site. So sure, you might get a kill, but doesn't matter. They get the bomb site, they get the plant, they get the round.
Benja lurked the hell out of that round as well.
And he was so quiet on Bank. He's gotten triple the kills of Bank, besides the final round when he got a few extra kills. He's 6-2.
Yeah, it was a 3K or 4K for him in that round. He got a 3K on the basement round as well.
That's what they were missing, right? Benja, he played, as you said, on Bank, played Flex, different operators, on Border. It was all a team effort. Now on 11 Labs, he's been unleashed a lot more, playing the Dokkaebi, a lot more free roaming. Now he's being leashed onto Thatcher, sadly.
Leashed.
Get over here, Benja.
Thing is,
open the wall with me.
All he's got to do is chuck 3 EMPs and then he's a gun for hire.
Yeah. I mean, Ashen and the Nuke, Force and the Black People, when they want to pick up those kind of Flex operators, someone else has to play the Thatcher to help Force get all those walls opened up. And Benja is capable of that.
Very true. A side note about Forrest on the Blackbeard, he is one of the few players that we see running iron sights on the Scar on Blackbeard. Yeah, faster ADS speed, which is typically quite slow with the Blackbeard. At the risk, though, of not quite as good sight lines. A lot of people running ACOG, a lot of people running Hollow. I can't remember who it is that plays it on VP, but they run the weird Hollow, the Cybertruck Hollow. You seen that?
It's so curious. I actually have not seen that.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't want to see that, to be fair.
Well, VP are eliminated, so you're all good.
Oh, too soon, my friend, too soon. Of course, SSG, they got one European, Danish player of Phantom Master, so they will represent a little bit of it. Might be a risky play from Fault. Do you need to do that? I'm not sure, but it works out.
Good shot from Ashen. Benja continuing his reign of terror. He's just going nuclear here, as are the rest of SSG. But it is traded back to a 1v2, and Ben is very low on HP. Users tucked away. Guess what? He's got that diffuser in his grasp. A nade goes over, a C4 goes out. Neither find their mark. SMG 11, as he holds on to this cheeky position. Ashen makes an ill move. And now Benja Master just has to find this last kill. He's been unreal these fast few rounds, but Users has the advantage. All he's got to do is wait and spray him down. BDS had no right, but Users wrenched it out of SSG's hands.
Basement. You guys want to do the roaming strats?
I hate to be negative. I love it.
Sorry, I just love
Want to do the basement strat?
Roaming strat.
It's just, he sounds so good. He sounds so fun.
He's so fresh.
He also sounds very happy right now, and he should be with how these rounds are playing out.
3-1 up, I'd be happy.
The thing is, I just...
Remember the strats?
Do you remember? Sorry. SSG blundered that massively. They had 2 grenades in pocket of Ashen. You have Users stuck in a corner. You know which corner that is, and both the grenades didn't force his position. You could nade bounce off the door or off the wall, force him to go left or right, and take the gunfight. I think Ashen even looked the wrong way. I think they genuinely thought he might have left that corner and crossed into Aqua Stairs. But I don't know why they would think that. They literally had him there, stuck and pinned. I say, let's chill, boys. Reset.
2 rounds from SSG. We've seen something that should have been unlosable be lost.
Yeah,
for 2 very different reasons. One was Fault struggling to cover off that position, and that was just a failed 2 versus 1.
Yeah.
The clutch potential here from BDS is leading to them being a cut above SSG. And let's be honest, like, this has been the year for BDS. After a turbulent 2023, which culminated in them failing to qualify for SI in Brazil, they dumped 2 of their old players. They brought in Users and Solotov, and what a glow-up it's been. 2 major finals, but no trophies outside of EWC, and certainly no appearances at SI that have the hype behind it as this year. This is meant to be BDS's SI.
They did have a slow start to this tournament. We saw a lot of frustration on their faces. We heard a lot of frustrations as well during technical timeouts, but they've seemingly found their stride and figured out how they can thrive in this current meta game at the Six Invitationals 25. With the shield operators, the more loose style of play, they have found their own. Call coming out. Solotov under a fair bit of pressure, but Breedy actually finds Ashen elsewhere for the opening kill.
Oh, there should be a swing from Benja. Good. On Dokkaebi, he finds that kill. SMG 12 in hand and takes on ground. Benja's come to life on this 3rd map. After being a little bit quiet for the rest of the series, we're finally seeing the Dane in his dangerous form.
Effect called the roaming strat. So far, that's all they've been doing, running around, rotating. Yes, attackers, they own the top floor, but BDS still have a little bit of presence here on the primary one. League Effect wants to min-max this, but look at this. His rotation seemingly caught.
Colt's gonna get baited, surely. Doesn't matter.
There's a jammer here.
3-Day finds one. A good kill for Leak Effect. Ben caught out. Forrest and J9O, the last two. And this roam from BDS has been too unwieldy. A good kill through the floor from J9O. And the contest, though, from BDS has left him very bloodied, low HP. And that jammer, as you said, caused SSG to suffer greatly.
Force walked in thinking there's nobody to my left. My right should also be clear, but no, you're wrong. You got played by a simple mute jammer. And these mini games from BDS are just getting them either kills or outright winning rounds. It's not over yet. You got Force in the Blackbeard. You still got to wait back in, but it's tough. J9O, if he wants to be the planter, he's 1 HP. If we're to cover the plant, also again, 1 bullet and he's out. SG ideally need to find a kill or two before trying to go for a plant with BDS. We know they can play discipline. They're not going to give it for free.
And what's more, they've got 1 C4 and 1 impact grenade. Oh, that's aggressive. No. Forrest, nearsighted, tries to take down that Dread Mine, eventually does so. He's now lost a lot of HP. Vulnerable to that C4. J9O sends out his Twitch drone, but it's shot before it can take down that bulletproof camera. That means SSG will be planting in full vision of BDS. Round in the corner, he has to take the fight. Shaiko bests him. Diffuser cold on the ground. That smoke grenade does nothing. 1 kill for J9O, 5 seconds. Bit of damage to Users, but he can't confirm it. And Users again finds a big one for BDS. 4-1 is the score. SSG are seeing their hopes and dreams fade away.
They are, and we're not seeing the adaptation. The first and second map, BDS would make a good read, and then SSG make the right adaptation of their own, or their baseline is good enough. Right now, they're not changing things. They're not winning the rounds, and when they get close, they blunder. This right here wasn't a bad start. The drone bait, the intro kill, Ashen died earlier on, sure, but a 1-4 trade for Rumclay isn't bad, but then this. The shotgun Brede, the mute jammer to stop the phone call, completely turned the round upside down and stopped SSG from progressing correctly, and you cannot execute 2v3, it just doesn't work that way.
BDS have just found their form. Loosey-goosey roams. Fickle setups on site, ever-changing. SSG unable to contain the beasts of BDS, who have really found themselves in top form today on this third map. A turbulent series, yes, it's been. SSG finding that first map. The BDS fought back on Bang. They're fighting even harder still on Nighthaven Labs. SSG have one last chance to merit an attack round.
They need this so badly. A 2-4 side is completely doable, but 1-5, 1 error, the best you can do is overtime. There's no more regulation comeback for you. Not just that, but SSG, I mean, yeah, you're gonna go on defense. We can argue defender-sided map, whatever, but your confidence. I mean, individual performances, 1-4 Forest, 2-5 Ashen, 2-3 Force, not really finding much success anywhere. Yes, Ben just popping off as an individual, but the team itself isn't thriving. The timings aren't there. I know they trust each other. They're so locked in. But right now, BDS, they're outperforming, they're outplaying SSG on the third map. Breach goes open. Benton couldn't trick because Ashen downstairs on Sophia denied it. First 60 seconds spent. And SSG going back to basics. A simple, clean round is what they need. No room for error, no room to fall short.
That means getting every single step of the way right. It starts with a bit of a breach. Now this is barely vaultable, this position. Upside down rappel looks dangerous. A second Selma onto the wall. Bolt still has 1 left in pocket, as well as the 2 tin can openers from Ashen to open the other side of the map. Logic Bomb goes out. Benjer on for a lurk. He's been so powerful in these positions. He needs to have his impact felt this round as well for SSG.
See, there's a second step. Trying to get a second wall, a second entry, but the bomb side, mind you, it is downstairs. They're fighting for Toffa for this long. It might just be Bentimaster if you can find the right timing right now. With that last call, Uses knows that something's up. Mind you, Benji made this exact same play last time. BDS, they're a team that remembers what happened before, and they make their adaptations. You cannot rely on just Benji to win this round for you. This has to be a full team working together.
So in they go on the back of that logic bomb. Now Leagueofact trying to contest the Blackbeard, struggling. He does get melee priority, but not if Forest can find him. Quickly takes him down. And now top floor, supremacy established for Space Station with the numbers advantage to boot.
Benji got the flank as well. That's 2 kills versus T. Gonna get the bomb side, but look at that. Shaiko steps up. He finds one.
It might be enough to put SSG to bed. Another kill for Solotov and Uses, leaving just Benja left. A wall bang finds very little. And the European stands against 3 fellow Europeans. As he doubles back, SMG-12, he sees the goo mine, but finds the kill regardless. BDS are just holding their position, but low HP Benja cannot afford to make a mistake. 10 seconds to play. He doubles back again. Shaiko peeks him for a brief moment. Uses cold on side, and it's a crossfire for BDS, and a 5-1 half on the defense.
Well played, good round, guys. Good fucking round.
It started off well for Space Station. They got 2 kills, they lost nothing. They kept going fast, they kept speeding up perhaps. They had to stabilize first. I mean, hack the cameras with Dokkaebi, drone out the bomb site. Because we saw what happened here, Ashen. And Forest just gets cut off by Shaiko in the middle of the map. And it falls flat once more. This could be SSG not understanding that in laps as well as the previous ones. It could be nerves. I don't know what it is, but it is tearing them apart.
SSG, what's happened? These guys have been the giant killers throughout the bracket. W7M taken down, G2 taken down. So many big teams SSG have finished off or sent to the lower bracket. BDS was want to be one of them. And SSG now looking like chumps on Nighthaven Labs. BDS have been in full control, and the only copium we can huff here is for SSG to have some form of a defense in this second half.
Starts off with a clash downstairs. Wall deny, Kaid and the Bandit. So they're playing for time, they're playing for a bit of map control, and they're playing for the bomb side. BDS, they respond with something that you expect, a Maverick, of course, to brute force these walls opened up, but they got the room clear. Shaiko's Deimos has been left open, and this is the thing. It was banned on other maps. It was left open here, and SSG barely played Deimos himself. 1 or 2 rounds only that I recall, and didn't find a whole lot of value with it. But Shaiko is not that kind of Deimos player. He will play this every single round, and he's so efficient at it. BDS would love to play around it and support it. This could get very tricky.
It's nice to see SSG still happy to get up in the face of BDS, though. The clash pick with this roaming aggression still peeking out of windows. Cheese grater strat again on the site wall. Didn't work out so well for SSG. Let's hope BDS have a little bit more luck.
This is a new jammers to help with those death marks from Deimos if you need to. Oh, this is just a tease, right? They're breaching the wall right in front of Forest, but it's a clash. You can't quite shoot back. Well, there is cover. BDS with about half the round spent has gone for a full map clear.
C4 possible here for Benja.
I like
We
this.
heard that rip.
Soft floor all across that area. Clash with the intel and the slowdown. This could very easily grant you a kill. And furthermore, for BDS, how are they supposed to clear out Clash from this position? I mean, the nade might do something, but the C4 goes down. It's excellent.
From
Shaiko
way
goes
down, through the floor. Pengu, Benjamin landed that. Solotov, Leagueofact, Bride, and Users now look to pick up the pieces. 4 players remain as they've taken down these bandit batteries. Can they get more of a breach on the site? Not really, there's nothing for it. If anything, there's no point in taking down those batteries. They need to be taking down the clash here on Exo Stairs. Another nade goes out, but the guard break onto the Blackbeard makes him ineffective.
Oh my god, the Dukes there, Forest sidestepping it so perfectly, but look at this. They're advancing forward, he's got no help.
And he's just gonna lose this, there's no doubt about it. Uses shield on back, hunts him down, and takes down that clash player. Now perhaps they're in for a shot for BDS.
They didn't even get the hatch open. Where's the support for Forest? I mean, you can't just sacrifice a player like that. No!
Ashton, you can't be going down like that. Benja Master does find one. He's been the hero for SSG. And another kill found. 14 in the map for Benja. As Fold goes down, it will come down once again to the Dane. SMG 11 in hand, Leakafak poises for a plan, but Benjamas has already used his C4. Going to swing, Bride has to cover, but from outside the breach, the French put themselves on series points.
You know, Bride spent the entire round on drones, holding angles, waiting for the execute. Almost 3 full minutes goes by, and then guess what? He is in a position where he cannot afford to miss. Against Benjamaster, who is getting so many kills, who's landing every single shot, but Bride is that guy. He is so clutch. Whenever this team needs him, he's always there. In BDS, I mean, they're up 6-1. They're making a statement out of this one. And Shagon also said, guys, you gotta help your Clash. And he's right. They completely sold Forest on his own. And Fultz, with that very whiff of a gunfight, made the round almost unwinnable for Benjamaster.
He's kicking himself for that one.
And he shouldn't be. Like, he did so much. He's 14-6. He got every kill that he could possibly imagine.
He's had more kills than the rest of his team combined, by the way.
And not all kills are high value. He's gotten some exit kills, etc. So I don't want to get too caught up on like the 14-6 aspect. But also, we need to see more team play. Yeah. When does SSG ever let the Clash be alone without a gun behind them, without backup? When do they swing 1v1 gunfights instead of establishing a crossfire? When do they keep running those massive mistakes of rounds that look so easy to win in hindsight? This is SSG not doing good enough to their own level of play that we've seen from them the past week. BDS, they're playing incredibly well, do not get me wrong, but this should not be 6-1. It should be like a close one. We're talking the 3-4s, the 4-4 round situations, because there are so many moments where SSG absolutely should have won them. What are you supposed to do? If BDS is in peak form, can you just lay down? Say GG go next? Do you fight it back? What do you do if you're SSD right now? 5 rounds straight just to go into overtime.
Yeah. 0-0 reset, that's the only thing you can say. Hope and pray that the meditation, that the gym workouts, that the mindfulness, and all of the sports psychology techniques that SSG have been utilizing will assist them in a moment like this.
Risk assessment in the situation. They can change a player massively. The play you'd make previously, well now, if you mess it up, it's over. That's what SSG might be thinking right now. For BDS, they can take the craziest risk. They can go for the biggest of plays. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, you still got a 4-round lead, so they can afford to take them. Forrest, we gotta see him play this round perfectly in positioning like before, but with backup. He cannot be left alone again.
That Clash forced back, but he will survive for a little bit longer. Won't stay amidst the flames. SSG are so tempted to go for something a little bit aggressive here. Fultz moving around. Which of the Dread Mines are active? Forrest is scouting ahead here. No one on that drone who wants to get shot. Benjamaster's position about to be in a world of pain as the nades and flashes go out ahead.
Every second passing, the heartbeat's gonna go faster. The intensity rises, communication gets more stressful. When BDS, they want to go for this, they can do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and 5 people work together for this potential final round.
Dokubi's logic bomb goes out. Still some of the players projected by Mute Jammers. Benjamaster caught out! A refrag not enabled! Leakafak's found them both! Forrest is so low on HP as well, and SSG are on their last legs! Let's go! After a year of second best, BDS are building towards greatness. SSG knock down the lowers, and BDS will take on the reigning champs for a shot at an SI final.
Can you believe that? I mean, this is such a great start for BDS again to go up against Furia, to really prove to everybody and themselves that they are this good. If they can be consistent, there are so few teams that can take these guys down, but they have gotten into their own heads in the past in those grand finals. This was a great test for BDS, but it's not the final one.
Not yet, but for a team that was snubbed of Six Invitational last year, now they're back and they're guaranteed into the top 3. SSG fought, but they did not fight hard enough today. BDS will take on Furia, but of course, first we'll break all that down after the break.